If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great protocol is a simple 2-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great protocol.
Hold the line! Stay with me! Brothers! What we doing live?
Woo! How is it going out there, my fellow world patriots? It is indeed Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, 2026, and that was a little homage to the heroes out there, and I'll read this off a little bit for you guys and pull Mr. Mack in a second. White House states, Memorial Day isn't about barbecues or beach days. It's about those American heroes who gave everything for our freedom. And it says this 70-second clip or video captures what the day is truly about. So obviously the veterans and the lost soldiers have my utmost respect, of course, that they gave their blood and their lives for our country. And obviously they have my utmost respect, and I'm sure most of yours, if not all of yours. Actually, everybody that's listening to this video, I'm sure. Some of the libbies on the left, I'm not so sure about, or I'm sure it's in the opposite direction. But anyways, let's bring in Mr. Mack, sir. What is going on this fine Monday, Memorial Day? Hope you got some food in you. Anyways, I'm holding my burgers till later. But what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on? I mean, I hate saying Happy Memorial Day, but it's
Right.
the best way to put it. But a great saying, we don't know them all, but we owe them all.
Yes.
You know, honoring of the fallen. I even, you know, those that are disabled that come back from war, they to me even fall into this category in a certain way because they left some of their parts on the battlefield. So they were forever changed. So, you know, God bless our troops. God bless America. And God bless those that have sacrificed their lives for our country. But looking forward to the show. Thanks for having us, or me. I guess Lisa's not here today. Hopefully she comes back soon. But thanks to everybody that tunes in, and thanks to the mods. But we got a lot to cover. Lots going on. Lots of happenings.
Where do we start today, dude? Because I got about a bazillion and one links. that we could go to, but we could hit anything, of course. Wait, one thing I thought was funny, because I don't know, did you happen to see any of the I guess it was Pompeo and Victoria Nuland that had like a little back and forth with Mearsheimer and things like that, and it was pretty interesting. But Pompeo's been running his mouth, a lot lately, and I found one of those posts by Stephen Chung to be especially vicious. he got on him, and I've never seen somebody in an administration put a post out like this. So I thought this was interesting. I was listening to a little bit earlier, Mike Pompeo right here, because we can't get a peace deal over there, right? Yes, thank you, Jen at Seaglass 115. Warmongering F is, I believe, yep, she's talking to Pompeo. The deal being floated with Iran seems straight out of the Wendy Sherman, Robert Malley, Ben Rhodes playbook. Pay the IRGC to build a weapons of mass destruction program and terrorize the world. Not remotely American first. It's straightforward. Open the dam straight. Deny Iran any access to money. Take out enough Iranian capability so it cannot threaten our allies in the region again. Overdue. Let's go. And, Bird notice, use deep state trader as POS. So Mikey Palm's not getting the biggest of fanfare lately, Mac. And man, he's sure skinny, huh?
as we all say, who asked him? And it's like from the peanut gallery, backseat driving, whatever you want to call it. The guy's not even, he's worthless. Hopefully he gets caught up in everything.
Oh, but I'm thinking by the tone of this post that I'm about to read, he's probably a crap creek without a paddle. Stephen Chung, just some, Asian dude. Nope, assistant to the president and White House director of communications. So he's not just some nobody. And what does he say? Mike Pompeo has no idea what the he's talking about. He should shut his stupid mouth and leave the real work to the professionals. He's not read into anything that's happening. So how would he know? Dude, I'd love that. I don't know if I've ever seen a person that's representing an administration come out and say, what the F? And you know what? Mike Pompeo has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. He should shut his stupid mouth and leave the real work to the professionals. Dude, that is just beast mode. Loving that. Loving it. And you had posted something earlier too in the drops, and I think since you had posted it in the drops, President Trump had reposted that post. Was it this one? I just want to make sure we get the right one, because I think you said pay specific attention to page 3, I believe you wrote on this one. Yeah,
this is interesting. Definitely. Yeah, all before kind of breaks down his justification for tariffs as I skim through it. But when you get to page 3, that's when the good stuff happens. When you say right there, the Trump 2.0 tariffs are going to ensure, you can read from there, bring that up.
Yeah, I just want to make note that, President Trump did post this here himself today, 6 hours ago. And apparently it's a readout or a transcript to Dr. Savage live stream. So over here on page 3, we'll just go down. Let's see. President Trump has reinstated across the board 25% tariff on steel imports and raised the aluminum tariff from 10 to 25% while eliminating all country-specific exemptions and alternative agreements. You've got to hear about China and Russia because they and other foreign nations, including some you've never heard of, were using Canada and Mexico as transshipment hubs. The Trump 2.0 tariffs are going to ensure that all imports, regardless of their processing location, are going to be subject to tariffs through the use of North American melt and pour and smelt and cast standards for steel and aluminum, respectively. I think you've got the picture. Trump is 100% right, okay? The Trump 2.0 tariffs crack down on the shell game of using derivative products to evade tariffs. Countries like China, Russia, and others now ship semi-finished steel or aluminum into Mexico and Canada or the EU, where it is lightly processed, and then they get around it. Now, here's the kicker. Before I go on this topic, you're not going to believe this. You ready for this one? Corrupt Ukraine, which can't account for $100 billion of tax dollars, sends semi-finished steel to be processed in Poland where it is exported as a derivative product to the United States, thereby avoiding Section 232 tariffs and anti-dumping duties. That's your friend Zelensky. That's what another subtext of this whole story that's going on. So you've got to understand the U.S. Customs and Border Protection will make sure there is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide for the tariff of aiders. We're going to be stronger and we're going to be wealthier thanks to Donald Trump. Oh God, this is weird. Yeah, but dude, this is awesome, and we've heard about this in the past. And I think you said you wanted me to pull up maybe 855.
Yeah.
All right.
We've gotten a bunch of hints in the Q post of steel. Now there's steel with an E, and then steel, like metal steel. And Q had hinted at our steel being compromised. Here you go.
Yeah. What if the steel used for military-grade projects was made inferior by our enemies as a method to weaken? What if Hussein knew and authorized? Renegade. How many Marines volunteered to serve Hussein during his term? I don't think many. Why? What if his name, we don't say, organized the deal? Oh, that's, if anybody's wondering, that's John McStain. We don't say his name. The U.S. taxpayer subsidizes the world. America has been sold to the highest bidder. America has been weakened on purpose. The depths of this treason or their treason is unimaginable. Pure evil. Hell on earth. Hillary Rodham Clinton victory would have been hell on earth. And then up top you have 1 of 5 and then 2 of 5. But yeah, they've been doing this for a while, and we were told about this, 2018, 19, 18, about, I think it was Russia back in the day that was doing it, and China, but they knew that they were buying bad steel, right?
Yeah, there was a couple. There was Japan was the big one. That was 859. If you pull that up, yeah.
Ding, boom.
And then there's also 852, which is Red October steel plant, which is in the Soviet Union, I believe, or Russia, whatever it was back then. USSR.
Back in the USSR, 852, you said on that one?
Yeah.
This one's CIA. Oh, Stalingrad Oblast. Red October steel plant in Stalingrad. Wait, so you mean Red October has dual meanings? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Red October steel plant. Why was the hunt for removed? Expand your thinking. Not related to money or trade. The map has everything. News and tweets unlock the map. And dude, I would say even to this day, news and tweets still continue to unlock the map. As they still are dropping us major loaves of breadcrumbs left and right.
Yeah, we're in D class right now. It's no doubt about it with this UFO stuff. And yeah, we'll probably get into some more of this stuff. But Epstein's definitely attached to the allure behind this. And we're all waiting on pins and needles, waiting for some extra info to connect it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we haven't already. But
just by happenstance,
details are great.
Just by happenstance, it happens to be a 1 minute and 17-second video in this one here where it says Kobe Steele admits data fraud went on nearly 5 decades, CEO to quit. Admitted its data fraud had been going on for nearly 5 decades. It also revealed new cases of cheating, highlighting the challenges facing the 112-year-old company. So yeah, it's not doing so hot. And again, these people are stupid. Wait for Russia, China report, sabotage, investigation, strike, 9999.
Think about all like the military equipment that, plane crashes or anything like that, that's been compromised by this corrupt steel, could have probably gone on in Trump's first term where he found out. I know the Q posts say, but I remember him talking about it and trying to figure out multiple ways to alleviate that problem. And I think he's finally, taken it out, like where there's a method to trade or import the raw materials to make steel.
Yeah, and there's 3 of them. And so what do they say? 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 5? I'm just going, all right, 7 out of 10. It's been a while, guys, so you forgive me for not remembering a 9-year-old post. Exactly. Red 9/11, funds raised versus distributed. Oversight, 7 out of 10 plane crashes are targeted kills. Those in the know never sleep. So yeah, weakened steel or maybe the QRS-11 chip, what do they call it? The uninterruptible autopilot, I think is what the name of it was. So
I think there's just so many different ways. You remember how 9/11 went down? There's still that theory that it could have been, they used vibration and resonance to cripple the steel so it would come down. So I wonder if there's many other methods in which they can do things. They can spy on you. It's crazy what they figured out how to do. That's pretty, all classified. You can only get bits and pieces of it.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I think you had dropped this one too.
Yeah, the nuclear dust again. Go ahead.
This is going to be big too. So President Trump, literally 5:45 Eastern time, it's now 7:20 p.m. Eastern time, he posted the enriched uranium or nuclear dust, in parentheses, will either be immediately turned over to the United States to be brought home and destroyed, or preferably in conjunction and coordination with the Islamic Republic of Iran, destroyed in place or at another acceptable location with the Atomic Energy Commission or its equivalent, being witness to this process and event. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I think they might want to do some testing on it a little bit first, no? Mac, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some identifiers, and figure out where they came from. I mean, this is 47 years worth of them accumulating, he calls it nuclear dust. So I'm still hung up on that. I have so many different theories. Because it's nuclear dust, it's going to fall under the Department of Energy. And he in the football, there's a presidential emergency action documents, and nuclear is covered in that. And I just wonder, with all the technology that's going on, if there's more to it than just what we're being told that it's nuclear. I'm hoping we get these identifiers, and it points out the Uranium One scandal and Obama and Hillary Clinton, and that kind of ties in the whole thing. But we'll see.
Yeah, they can check the isotopes or whatever, and see that they're taken from the same area, something along those lines. And yeah, I bet you it's going to come back that we were the ones it was taken from. So it's going to get very interesting out there for sure. Now, were you thinking about this at all too in your smart dust usage? Wells Fargo has a real U.S. patent titled Smart Dust Usage, which is interesting. So there's a video. I'm just going to read it instead of listening to her. You can listen to me. It's a system for using tiny airborne micro-electromechanical systems, commonly called smart dust, for biometric authentication during financial transactions. Patent number, whatever, granted June 7th, 22. I looked into this and it's crazy. The patent mentions sensors that will collect biometric data like heart rate, blood pressure, body temperature, motion, voice, images, and more, be released into the air near the user, like at a payment terminal. Compare that data to a user profile to verify identity before approving a payment. Keep in mind this is conceptual, but it shows that they're working on it. Patent is for future technology. The patent itself is only about biometric authentication for payments, not programmable CBDC. But you can see how this could be used for CBDC. Once your identity is confirmed, the system communicates with the CBDC network. The transaction only clears if it complies with the programmable rules attached to the money. Because the dust collects continuous biometric data during the transaction, the system could theoretically detect suspicious behavior. Elevated heart rate equals possible coercion or fraud. Link your purchase history, health data, political donations, church giving, books bought, etc. to your CBDC wallet. Automatically freeze or reverse transactions that violate programmed rules. This is theoretical, but yet you see how it could be terrifying. And theoretical, Mac, they got a friggin' patent for it, so I would say it's a little more than theoretical, no?
Yeah, it's real life stuff. I'm trying to find this clip, but essentially they have technology that's possible. I mean, I'm saying it's possible. It's called like foglets, where they can get these like nanoparticles or just particles of say they're the size of a soda can, or probably smaller than that. They can form and reform shapes, essentially. And then they get into the smart dust, and the smart dust, they can put it into the air because it's so small. And once it gets into the body, it can be electrified. And then your body is an electrical unit, and it probably can be, the nanoparticles can function as a processing unit and probably a computer of some sort, with receiving information, whatever. I don't know. Let your brain explore that one.
Yeah, what could you do with it? You know what I mean? It is pretty scary, for sure. Look up smart dust. Let's see.
Let's see if I can find it.
I might have an extra one too. Yeah, this is a post from, might be the same person. Let me see, but this is Wall Street Apes. This one's actually from a month ago, but it actually talks about a little bit more into it. I actually covered this, I think, with Ghost and Armando, maybe a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, perhaps. This is the one that they shared over, again, showing the patent. Smart Dust will make sure every breath a biometric payment slave scan. So, I mean, I don't like it in the fact that, like, wait, it's going to start, like, recording your body, your blood pressure, this, that, and the other. Like, that's not
I've
cool.
got a link of this. They talk about smart dust. This is a good one. It's at the bottom of the chat. It's a video.
Gotcha. Incoming ding. Bum. All right, here we go. Get her done.
The inevitability of smart dust. So what is smart dust? Well, smart dust, of course, isn't a new concept. It's originated with DARPA back in the 90s. And it's general purpose computing, sensors, wireless networking, all bundled up into millimeter scale sensor modes, drifting in the air currents, flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out. And you haven't really seen anything yet. So this is closer to the end of the vision. This is this powder-sized chip, and that's a salt crystal. So this is a small thing. It's something called the Mu chip.
Pause it real quick.
It's the smallest.
Back it up a little bit. Just a screen. Graphene-based nano antennas. That's what was in nanoparticles. Graphene, remember?
Oh,
was in the was in the jabs.
Oh God, that's no bueno.
So, it could have been a possible weapon. We don't know. It hasn't been announced, but we have our very, very big suspicions on that one.
Yes, for sure.
Continue. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And that's a salt crystal. So this is a small thing. It's something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world, and can be pulse powered by radio waves. It doesn't require a battery. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. And you know what the really interesting thing about this technology is? This was commercially released 10 years ago. We're still essentially at the banging the rocks together stage for this sort of stuff. And you haven't really seen anything yet.
Oh, damn, dude. Oh, God, stop it with the dink. Why don't they, you edit the video, like, at least cut the thing out at the end. You want to give them credit, that's cool, whatever. But yeah, Truth Seeker posted that one from Ascension Out 3. Definitely interesting stuff, dude. But again, I just want some simpler times, without all this tech. But I guess it's not going away, right?
No. No, unfortunately. And a long time ago, it was like 2001, I came across a patent, and I feel like you put nanoparticles in cardboard, and then you come across Amazon's website, and they have like a zombie apocalypse. I have to do a better presentation on this. I know I'm sounding a little crazy, and I'm trying to see if I can present it a little bit better, other than what I have. I mean, yeah, I'll have to work on that one for another time, because it's under Amazon's terms of service article, and it's the Amazon adds zombie apocalypse disclaimer, and then they use a new video game for to promote it, so you know what to do in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, we saw that a few times in like the Jade Helm stuff, and yeah, it's like, wait, why are they doing that? Is it, I was thinking like bath salt. Remember the dude in like Florida that was trying to eat the dude on the highway? He said it was bath salt. They almost act zombie-esque.
I
You know what I
was
mean?
living in Miami at the time when that happened. It was wild.
Okay. That was a
I don't.
Miami area, right?
Yeah, I was right at the bridge from like Brickell area, maybe. No, not Brickell, but I forget it's from the land side or of downtown Miami over to the South Beach. It was on the downtown side, so they had to like close off the bridge. It was crazy.
Man, yeah, definitely some creepy SOBs out there for sure. Um, and I know you had mentioned something too.
But back to the nanoparticles,
oh, good.
essentially, yeah, they can make you a zombie. I mean, I think that's what they essentially are experimenting with because it was never experimented on prior to us being mandated to take it. So one can only. Oh, there were the flu shots too prior to that. Remember that? They were all free if you wanted to take a
Oh
flu
yeah.
shot. So you never know if you voluntarily say, okay, I'll take it. They could be doing something in the background we don't even know about, which is pretty evil if you think about it.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
all in the
I don't
fine
like it.
print, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, it's again, this is kind of going in the pile of like AI data centers and stuff that I think, why are they doing all this crazy stuff? And it's like none of it is the end result is good for human beings. It seems to me anyway, right? It's like, oh no, we need to make our beautiful green planet a friggin' essentially a big Wi-Fi and battery essentially is what they're going to make out of this whole place. It's like,
Well,
oh wait.
we've gotten to a point, I think, science wise, science is really made in order to explain what we can do in nature. If we saw something, how is fire started? So, somebody probably saw a lightning bolt hit a tree and then fire happened, that kind of thing. And we try to figure out, problem solve to make that stuff, a wheel and to make our lives easier. So, um, I think we've come to a crossroads in the public eye and learning with the addition of computers and then the invention of AI, because all these entities are using them in the background, and then we know that we're going to be learning and learning, so they got to use it for whatever nefarious or non-nefarious activities. And I think that um, the gig's up. They can only hide it for so much longer,
Yeah.
and the younger generations are just getting smarter and smarter. So I think now's the time. However, it was planned out. Donald Trump's going to be the person to do it. It's great.
Yeah, and that is interesting too because we have, the power of the ability to look up anything at, because remember we were younger, if we wanted to know something, we'd have to go to the friggin' library, right? Now it's like,
Oh
oh, you want
God,
to
I
know,
hated the library.
right? You want to know what this is or that is? Like, wait, I got this thing in my hand. I can find out in 30 seconds or less. You know what I mean? And you're
Exactly.
right. It's making these kids like, zooming right along and, dumb us dumb parents, because we're always smarter than our parents. I always thought I was smarter than my parents. And so, but yeah, that's some craziness, dude. And it's nefarious stuff.
Well, and you notice how the deep state brought in like the woke stuff to kind of dumb down the younger generation because they want to keep the control. So this is such a crazy time in history because we're witnessing that physical struggle and mental struggle in real life and having to decipher it.
100%. And things are getting wild over there. So while they're talking, apparently, so I don't know if you want to touch on Iran a little bit, or if you have anything on this maybe we can stay on the health dust stuff, maybe, because I know you had mentioned something about Avril Haines as well with COVID earlier. So if you want to stick on that road for a minute, we could do that. Let me see. Oh,
You just got to pull it up. Which one was that one? The Admiral.
yeah. Let me just get this one out of the way. Just because I mentioned his name, which I didn't even know I was going to do in this show, because you had dropped the link and we mentioned him in one of the posts that we talked of earlier. Doug McStain, the oldest son of McStain, dead at 66. So apparently, I didn't know that. What's her name there? Megan had an older brother, I guess. He's the eldest child of late Senator McStain. And remember, McStain had a thing on his, he had a boot on his right ankle or left ankle. And then a couple of weeks later, he had a boot on the other ankle, but not the other ankle. So wait, you hurt your ankle, and all right, my left ankle's hurt, and now I got to wear a boot because it's so hurt. But then I favored the other one so much that I need to put a boot on the other leg. But then my other leg is miraculously fine. So I don't need a boot on that leg anymore. And then within, 30 days after that, he was gone. And we were told he was going to be gone. So I'm guessing it's this dude.
Lindsey Graham who said that he was executed on live TV. So
yeah, John Kasich says
John Kasich.
Yeah, it's not been 24 hours since you executed John McCain. It's like, what? Excuse me? Wait, what did you just say? And then his daughter came out and said she was listing politicians. She says, Barack Obama, John Kerry, my dad. You can't kill him again, but whatever. It's like, wait, what? And again, so these are like these weird things that we never really got any finality on, other than what the drops told us, and then what Kasich came out, and then Megan McCann came out and said, which I think suffices as enough to verify what the drops told us as well. That would just be my guess,
I can't remember if the wrinkle flag was where that started from. Remember it was like the telltale sign of a traitor.
Oh God, dude!
When you have a flag over a casket, it's supposed to be tucked in and everything, and it's kind of thrown over sloppily. And yeah, I don't know. It's always been the military rumor. I think I confirmed it with my buddy, and here's a perfect picture of his funeral casket.
I'm looking at mine too. I'm looking at mine because I know I got one. Got one. All right, let me see here. 1 second. I'm trying to pull up because I know for sure I had I'd posted out a video, and I was like, wait, what's wrong with this picture? Yeah, to me that's not crispy at all, and that's people could say, well, they just unfolded it. It's like, yeah, but it's like, I don't know. It shows a lack of respect for me anyway. And the same thing with bushes too. Why did my what would be the word I'm looking for other than flag? Wrinkles, creases, wrinkles, wrinkles.
Creases or wrinkles. I'm trying to find like JFK's. I'm trying to think of a person that was well respected. Like, was his, was he considered a traitor? I don't think so. But
McStain.
you gotta have like a basis.
Oh, because
but that's always been the old storyline. Is I've got a ton of examples. George H.W. Bush's, Colin Powell.
Yes.
Colin Powell didn't even have a U.S. flag draped over his coffin. When it brought in the church, it was like Templar. I think it was Masonic.
Interesting. Somebody posted, why was there no American flag? Okay, that was Blinken's trip to Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, but yeah, dude, it was 100%. You're on point in that. McStain's flag was like that. Herbert Walker Bush's flag was like that as well. And then remember the whole thing with the letters at Herbert Walker Bush's funeral, which was, again, another one of these things that like we all know about, and then people that are outside of our genre, they don't have a slightest clue about any of this, right? And so look how long ago it was. Look how thin Hillary looked there, dude. And what's his name is about to keel over, it looks like. Freaking Cheney.
That's Kissinger there speaking. Look how short he is, traitor.
Yeah, he is a traitor. He's heavily respected over in the UK. But actually,
he was part of the what was it? The executive services.
Senior executive?
Called the senior executive services, and he got walked out of the Pentagon in Trump's first term. So you knew that they were doing some good things in the background.
Dastardly stuff. Okay, so you posted this, and I think you had a post on X as well, which I didn't. To be honest, we'll play a little bit of
either
this.
one.
Yeah. So So you posted out. This is a post from MaQaveli on Twitter. It says, President Trump says the reflecting pool is like a mirror. It's beautiful. It's like a mirror. Think mirror from Q. What does the mall and reflecting pool represent now comparatively to before 2016? DC was a separate city-state corporation that was formed by the 1871 Act, Law of War. Interesting. Let's see, we're here.
How did
It's like a mirror.
Did it look good? How did
It's like a mirror.
Did it look good? Did it
Well,
work?
it's like a mirror. It's beautiful.
And I saw there was guys out there, almost like, are they hand painting it? Is that how they're doing it?
Yeah, well, they're fixing the
All right,
stone
for the
outside.
last about half hour, President Trump has been entertaining the press with and
And remember I said,
the
minor attracted persons was a possible meaning for map. I think it's military action plan, because just following that whole empire of the city, once I ran into that, it just kind of further backed up the fact that along the way we had given away the power in DC somehow, and it was being controlled somewhere else.
Oh, I like that. I do like that. And dude, I heard another one today, and you guys know I always like to try to give credit, but so you guys know how crazy my life's been for the last couple of weeks, just busy. But I heard a very interesting one. Did you hear the one of Trump? The words that you can make out of Trump? I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me see if I can pull it up here. The Republic under military, what was it? Under military protection, or what was that? What it was? The Republic under military patrol. What the heck was it? I lost it. I messed it. I mean, it could have been protection, but under military protection.
If you go back to that Q post you were just on at the bottom.
This one?
Yeah, that wasn't it. It was
at 852, 855, and 856 up, or was it a different?
It was on that truth. Go to the truth thing. It was on there. It was the one I had up. You had put mine up.
There you go.
At the what is a keystone, and we ended up seeing the symbol for senior executive services, which Henry Kissinger, I believe, was a part of, and that was the keystone symbol. And then recently was an executive order and was contested in the Supreme Court, but Supreme Court sided, I believe, with President Trump.
Oops, sorry.
That he can fire anybody that has, not been elected to a certain extent. So we're rooting out the deep state in the background.
This is that little documentary that talks about the three separate states, and it's from a larger documentary. So I think maybe like a minute of it, because this is
it's like 4 hours long. The real documentary. It's pretty good.
Definitely very good. So let me do this just in case I need to bump up the volume here.
London and the Vatican,
No, we're good.
a third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution.
Nope. So that gives you a good background basis of
how
what they're talking about here. And this was when they were. Was this when they were going into the Flyden administration, whatever that was that we were dealing with?
Yeah,
that
it was after January 6th. I have to look at the post again.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're spot on.
It was after January 6th. I forget the specific date, but I'll let you play it. But there's certain wording that he uses. And then after that, I believe there's the military turning its back. And then I have another clip where Trump mentions military as well. So I'll let it play, and then I think we'll make it clear.
Yeah, I think it was either the morning of the inauguration or the day before or whatever. So it was William Walker. I forget if he was a colonel, what general, or what he was, but here we go.
How proud I am of the almost 25,000 National Guardsmen who have come in from all 50 states and territories to help support the Secret Service and the police departments with a peaceful transition of military power.
So key to, a peaceful transition of military power. Never heard that nomenclature been used before in the past. So, and then what Mac was talking about here is from supposedly the Biden's limo as they're going down the street. And the funny thing is, Mac, some people were saying, oh, they weren't turning their back on him. They needed to protect the other side. I'm like, yeah, from the 200 yards of empty grass. Okay.
Well, no, they're standing at attention, and you don't protect anybody like that.
Yeah.
No guns drawn.
Wait, what are these guys doing? Oh, wait, that's what it was, Mac. These guys are protecting the field, and then these guys over here. And so I don't understand. Maybe these were people that were in there loyal to these guys or whatever, because they are facing it at least. But then I'll just turn this off. As you go here, this whole crew of them are clearly with their back to him, not protecting the damn thing. And then some of these are in the front, and some of them, it's weird, right? It's like, do we have a mixed bag of people that were loyal to different presidents or whatever? That's just weird. Everything.
Yeah, we definitely did, because there was a coup. Remember, basically John Brennan in the emails, even with the 51 intelligence people, and there's some others where he's asking them to jump aboard, and they try to do a coup. And this is what we're basically waiting for it to all be unraveled.
Oh, yes.
But during the National Guard and FEMA are involved in this, and Trump had changed, I believe it was the Marines that were in charge, and then he changed it to the Army. So the Army then became people behind helping out with that whole part of that, and that falls under the law of war 11.3, which is I can't remember the whole. It's occupying a belligerent entity. I'll just say I can't remember all the wording, and it's smart. He keeps reiterating it with the cognitive test. So you run into certain things that he put in place, and then we had COVID. What would he use the battle against that? And it just unravels all these this whole network of brilliance, and it's done by the law. And so now we're seeing him use his trump cards to do whatever he needs to do in order to bring world peace. And we know his intentions are spot on to what we want. So
are you sure he's not doing what Susie Wiles wants, and Jared's making all sorts of money with connections over there and blah, blah, blah? People are just missing the writing on the wall, in my opinion. And maybe we can't see it here, Mac, because maybe they're curled in, but I see a lack of gold fringes right there.
Yes, that would be correct. And I forget, it had to do with a military occupied building, I believe, or a federally owned building. It all got wishy-washy for me when I looked up all this stuff. It also has to do with the gold eagle at the top. So I think without gold fringes, that's a good sign.
It sure is. That's the Admiralty law. And so this is just me searching on various different, though fringe tassels are not gold, 6 hours ago. No gold fringe around the flags. And that was interesting because they were signing in Kevin Warsh, right, to the Federal Reserve guy. Federal Reserve is a pillar of the world financial system, which, by the way, they're not doing much lately except for setting the rates. Pretty much almost everything is done over at the Treasury now, including putting President Trump on some money.
Yeah, I had run into, the gold fringe was a military 2 flag, and it could have been there for a long time. We've always said we've been at war for, I think Bush had declared war on terrorism. We still haven't ended that. I'm sure there's other possible things prior to that we haven't concluded. So you wonder, under those certain actions during that time, does that carry on? or does it constitute it coming to an end? I don't think it does it?
I wouldn't think so. And I know, we're essentially always under a, what's the word I'm looking for here? A national emergency, right? Like we're always under a national emergency, like period. And so a lot of these things that give him more power to do while we're under national emergencies. So I thought that's interesting. You know that he already has money out there? President Trump has money.
$100 bill?
Well, that's coming, I guess. Images for show. Here we go. Ding. That is real, too. Because it's in my cupboard. Try to impeach this, the $2 bill. But it says, you received this genuine legal tender of the United States currency. So if you look at it, though, I had another picture of the front of it, but it has him on the front of it. Let me show you guys too. But it's pretty interesting because they basically they made it look completely different. So, but with him going to be on the signature, and they reported it a couple different ways that they said, oh, his name's going to be on the money instead of the Treasury Secretary. It's actually going to be in addition to. So both of their signatures will be on there. And here is that.
I do know something about that yellow fringe flags from a post I did a while back. It says, yes, you are under martial law according to Senate Report 93-549, written in 1973. Since March the 9th, 1933, the United States has been in a state of declared emergency. Under the powers delegated by these statutes, the president may seize property, organize and control the means of production, seize commodities, assign military forces abroad, institute martial law, seize and control transportation and communication, blah, blah, blah. Under the Constitution in 1978, Vice President Thomas Jefferson reassured the people of Kentucky that they were free from all federal laws except for the 3 crimes mentioned in the Constitution and no other crimes whatever. He went on to say, blah, blah, blah. So, interesting. If you're observant, you would notice the martial law amendments have words within the amendments themselves that Congress shall enforce them. They are not self-enforcing as the supreme law of the land that judges in every state would be bound. Thereby, Article 6, second paragraph, Congress enforces them if they violate state constitutions. That to me is a bunch of gibberish.
Well, the beginning part I definitely liked because it was telling you that fringe is for a certain reason. I always looked at it like maritime admiralty law or UCC code law was what you can look it up under Cornell law. UCC law is essentially business law or statutory law, and that's why when you go to a judge, I've literally seen videos of people in courtrooms saying, what about the Constitution? And the judge is like, I don't want to hear about the Constitution. Well, if we're not dealing off the Constitution, what kind of law are we dealing with in here? And they told them statutory law. But it's funny because all these judges always make these guys wait till the end where there's no more other people in the courtroom to watch.
You remember how we were trying to figure out what the NWO was?
Oh, the Nazi or new? Yeah.
Check out... I don't know if this applies, but it's a post in the bottom there, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is Latin New World Order.
Yeah. That's on our
I
money.
came across this. So it's you will find how to recognize martial law when you see it. Laws of Congress, describe you'll see a gold fringe flag and a legislative tribunal, even if it calls itself a court. Courts that are controlled by such things as statute of limitations or legislated minimum sentencing policies are not judicials. Courts that fly the gold fringe flags are responsible for giving 14th Amendment citizens the 6 rights allowed by law. See, this is crazy. It gets all like...
that bottom part is very interesting, dude. It says...
Yeah, go for it.
The laws of Congress in Title IV, United States Code Section 1, describe a United States flag. There's no mention of yellow fringe. The national flag, when representing the national civil jurisdiction, has no yellow fringe on its borders. A yellow fringe on a U.S. flag is in violation of Title 36, Section 176G, but under martial law, the yellow fringe is required.
So secretly, maybe.
I mean, dude, we've been under fringy flags for years. And again, for me, it's this whole thing of the corporation that needs to go away, and it's gotta get us back to a word that we've been hearing a lot lately, especially from President Trump and what he wants to do: sovereignty, right? Get us back to sovereignty, and then we have other sovereign nations dealing with other sovereign nations in a business manner. So I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing here, and unfortunately, not everybody is enjoying and seeing exactly what we're seeing. But there are indicators out there, dude, and
I mean, what's his name? Kirill.
Thank you. You're reading my mind.
Go for it.
No,
Yes.
you literally just read my mind, because I think I touched on it yesterday, because he had posted out something as well. But he's basically getting more and more active lately and reiterating the fact of, are Russia, United States, and China working together? So I'm trying to get back to my links from yesterday here.
There's a Reuters article I posted at the bottom. I don't know if it's a paywall or not, but it was Kirill's post that I got the article from.
Yeah,
and he's the special envoy, so maybe there should be things going on. And how quickly did Putin meet with Xi right after President Trump's? And then if you watch the two ceremonies, as much as we had access to Putin's, they were almost identical in so many ways. It was really cool to watch.
I mean, even the stuff that he's posting, like right here. He's saying, yes, spectator index, government debt as share of GDP, 2000, Russia. And look at how bad government debt as the share of the GDP, 54%, 126, not doing bueno. But look at Russia, 56%. Now they're down to 19%. So like all these sanctions that we put on them actually like helped them. But where was this post? And I don't know how active he's being lately, but putting out very interesting posts that are, again, indicating that they're working together. And then he's very into this as well, dude. Like, you notice he's posting a lot about Tulsi Gabbard and stuff like that. She played a key role in exposing the perpetrators of the Russiagate hoax. Many deep state actors and Obama and Biden surrogates will try to bury her work. We will see if the truth prevails and if the perpetrators are punished. And I don't think we got to talk about it because it was 3 days ago, but what are you reading on the Tulsi thing? Because now we're going to have an acting in there, right? An acting guy.
She's going to declass everything before June 30th is what I'm hoping. A lot. I would assume that she's been covering the 2020 election, COVID in the background. We've gotten some hints along the way. So I think she's going to drop it as she's leaving the door and say thank you very much, and we're going to get some more tidbits. Remember the declass of FISA for the storm?
Yes,
is like the final step. So I think that, and then I don't know, because is Comey, she was all into all that stuff, and then so I think that there is a possibility of more declass coming from her and key areas like the 2020 election and COVID, but we'll see.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, we will definitely see.
If you go to the bottom of the chat, there's a video I made that shows the similarities between Putin and Trump's visit with China. You may have to mute it. It's Eye of the Tiger.
Okay, I got that. I got you. Let me just, I set them all up here, so it should be easier for me to pull onto here. Gink, Telegram photo shows movies. Look at that. Bing, bing, bing. Here they go. Wait. Images. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do this one.
A unique moment.
I need to pull this over. How do I get this up here? All right, here we go. Nope, there we go. Do it like this. So my pre-setup apparently didn't work as good as I wanted to, but it'll still work nonetheless. And yes, I'm going to mute it after Frenchie's done talking here.
A unique moment where a US president, a Russian president, a Chinese president are dead against the Europeans.
And so, Max, some people are looking at it like, oh, well, they're not working together. It's like, oh, wait, he just left, and then now China's going to go make their deal with Russia, and the United States is out. That's how some of the black pillars out there are opposing what we're seeing with China meeting with Russia after President Trump met with China.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of BS. I think we're seeing Xi and Trump have been friends for I don't know how long. No person gets to go to the Forbidden City and then also Temple of Heaven, I think it's called.
Yeah.
No one. The fact he went to the Forbidden City blew my mind. That means that they have a special relationship, and it's not just because he's the president of the United States. I mean, that adds great allure to it. But I think they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah, look how long the handshake is, dude. I mean,
yeah,
boom. I think they basically just start the same time handshake essentially. And then what is that?
And Trump's breaking all the rules. He's touching them. You're not supposed to do certain things apparently in culture. Yeah. And Xi, when he's taking around, he's describing the history of everything. And there's a lot of history I looked up the Forbidden City and Temple of Heaven, and it goes back to the dynasty era, and they overthrew a government, the old dynasty, and they created the Forbidden City and the Temple of Heaven, and there's a couple other things. So I'm also following the symbolism of it all. And as they were walking down that red carpet, you notice the soldiers went from dark to white, dark to light.
Ooh.
It's all very, very symbolic when they do these things too. I don't know why, but apparently that's a big thing,
Yeah.
Even like the placement of the new, is it the West Wing or the East Wing that he's doing?
Oh, geez.
The ballroom. Well,
Yeah.
that breaks some sort of geometry that they've inlaid in the architecture of DC, in that mall area. And there's it goes 6 stories down, he said. So there's no 7th floor. That's a Q post thing. And then you got to think, there's possibly data centers that's gonna be put there, all kinds of stuff. It's got to have like its own possibly power source. It's got to be state of the art. It's going to be incredible. And he said the military, he got the courts got shut down because the military said we want it and we want to double the size of it. Go ahead.
Let me play. Yeah, I'll play this here quick. I think you had set us up with a little video. I think I touched on this the other day, but it's good to reiterate too, because remember, people are like, he's just making a ballroom.
Will totally protect what's downstairs.
And apparently I hit the space button with my wrist on accident. But yeah, so everybody's looking at this like a ballroom, but we're just having this fancy meetings and stuff, but there's clearly more offensive and especially defensive to it as well. So very key.
Over the top of it, it's a shield that will totally protect what's downstairs. They have a lot of things going on downstairs, and some of it you see. This goes down 6 stories. You see 3 stories because it's already been built. This will be, very shortly, this will be in the form of the roof goes along these lines. Basically, it goes outside. You see where the wood is. You're going outside of that line, and then it goes straight up. And it's all protection, and everything's together. You can't build one without the other. And what we have is we have the safest building ever built, in my opinion. You can have, and the other thing is, we're right on budget, we're right on plan. The only budget change would be that we doubled the size at the request of the military. We doubled the size, but we're right on budget, right on plan. And originally we were going to build a much smaller room, and it wouldn't have done the job. It just wouldn't have done the job. You have too many events. Like if we have President Xi coming here, we have no place to put him. We had the king and the queen the other day, and we had 1,000 people wanted, and we ended up having 100 people sitting in a So they've been after this for a long time, but maybe more important is the safety element. This is a shield that protects everything that's inside, everything that's on top. And, you know, obviously the White House was built in 1792.
1792. And the funny thing about the air quotes king saying that they helped us remodel it when they burnt it down back in the day. But dude, yeah, it's almost like this thing is like an additional super security system for the whole complex. And then
another section in it. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say they were just focusing on, you know, the ballroom and reception part of it. And interesting. And I must have been not paying attention the first time when I played this video, but I didn't recall that he said that they had doubled it in size due to the request from the military. So I thought that was interesting as well. But it seems to me it's like a super security system.
Yeah, he says there's going to be on the roof like a drone port.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But he called it a shield. So similar to like the Golden Dome, I would think there's going to be some special technology. You know, I noticed like when he's explaining things, he cuts himself off because he's probably not allowed to say it. So then he moves on to something else. And then when he was, you know, talking about the shield, he had his hand, he was looking upward. So I'm thinking that, you know, it's probably got some really state-of-the-art anti-air stuff going on. And I'm sure like you can't get like, you can't spy on it. It says it's got like 6-inch, I think, bulletproof glass. It's just going to be ridiculous, but really safe. It's needed, and we'll see how the finished product turns out. I mean, he's building big. The Ark, he's building that Ark. That's going to be impressive as well.
Oh, for sure, dude. And let me see. I got to read a couple of thank yous here for a second, but there's actually some leading information, meaning leading us to some interesting stuff to talk about in these two posts here. So let me just get this up. From earlier, Randall S. Cow dropped a super chat. I got that right, from YouTube of $5 and says, only 2 questions: data centers and tick helicopters. So, dude, we will definitely talk about some data centers, and I definitely have ticks to cover a little bit, unfortunately. Have you seen that, dude? Apparently there's people leaving boxes of ticks in farms like all over the place.
Yeah,
it's pretty disgusting.
One of the things that they're saying is that the ticks that they have are, what do you call it, sterile. So they're trying to mate with other ticks to make them sterile. Does that make any sense? Not to me, but apparently that was floated and is possibly happening right now. But the tick thing's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
We still haven't gotten the answer on Lyme disease and the deer tick, because it's possible that was bioengineered.
Oh, no, it definitely was. It 100% was.
Did we get confirmation finally? Because they said they were going to do it, and I don't think they ever brought it out. But I know it is, but we need that government being like, hey, by the way.
Need the sauce.
We messed up again.
Sorry, we left the back door open again. And this one is interesting. And let me see if I can just search something really quick. And I just don't want to pro or minus something here. Let me see. This would be interesting. Okay, so Sting Tammy, thank you for the $17 rant on Rumble Rant. Yes, bang, that one. Got it perfect. Posted, Nunez resigned from True Social the day before Tulsi had announced that she was resigning. And then it says, he's nominated for DNI, so Nunez, Patel, Ezra, all Crossfire guys going to run with Tulsi's declassed info. So that was what I was looking up really quick, was Nunez.
Yeah, I don't know if Nunez is going to come back into the fold or not. You never know.
It seems very possible.
He was the CEO of Trump's company, and he didn't make it any money. He lost money.
Did he really?
So yeah, it didn't do well. So that's not a good thing. Cash was with Devin the entire time they were, apparently uncovering the initial parts of all this Russiagate and everything, wasn't it? Yeah. So
He helped him
I
write
don't
that
know.
Nunez memo.
I've always had bad perception of him, but again, he may have a role for later because you leave politics at such a young age, and we were kind of taught that in the Q post that that's not normal, and usually it's for a reason. You're pushed out, so we'll see. But Trump, you never know. He brought Bongino back,
I personally like Nunez, but it says Trump responds to DNI Gabbard departure. Principal Deputy Director of National Intelligence Aaron Lucas will serve as, guess what? Acting national, and I can't highlight it. Acting. He likes those acting roles, remember?
Oh, it's going to go aggressive. This is going to be great.
Yeah.
So remember how it went before? Yeah, Pam Bondi, I guess, does the investigation, then the acting comes in and then serves the subpoenas and the indictments and the arrests. And so I would assume that this would be the next stage after Tulsi leaves, wouldn't you? I don't know if
would. Acting is tough to hit. Tough to hit a moving target. Let me see if I can pull this one up because it was.
I did not see this about Aaron Lucas replacing him. Do we have any information on who Aaron Lucas is?
It just says he right now is the principal deputy director of so he's the principal DNI right now.
And do we know how long he was there?
I think they said he was there for a couple of years, but I think he was ex-CIA, if I'm not mistaken, for like 20 years.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like
Mike Rogers. I'm just trying to see here because I read it the other day, but I'm pretty sure he was what do you call it? Former military, or excuse me, former CIA. Aaron Lucas, American intelligence officer and policy analyst, served as principal deputy. Okay, yep, that's him. Career, Cato Institute, 95, systems management, intelligence work. 2004, became an analyst at the CIA, became an operations officer the following year at the CIA. He was the station chief for a former country in the Soviet Union. That's right, former country in the Soviet Union. Lucas served as an intelligence aide to Rick Grinnell, the acting director of national intelligence in 2020, served as the deputy senior director for Europe and Russia at the National Security Council. So he was with Grinnell, who, by seemingly all accounts, was doing what POTUS wanted him to do.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you're right, though. Moving target, hit and run.
Yeah, and then he's got all this accumulated knowledge. He worked for Grinnell, and then he worked under Tulsi. I just want to know how long he was there under Tulsi and what he did right before that, and that would kind of give us an idea. It says 2025 to present, so that's not very long. Can you scroll down a little bit?
Absolutely. He was supporting 2000. In December of 2000, he was photographed holding a sign supporting the machine tabulation of the 2000 election in Florida. And amid the Supreme Court's hearing of Bush versus Gore, he is a critic of diversity, equity, and inclusion, so that's good. In February of 26, he wrote on X that bad actors weaponized intelligence in an effort to damage Donald Trump. He has rejected the assessment that Russian government colluded to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. Yeah, that is good. He donated to Martha McSally's campaign. Who's that? Okay. Senate and Nick Fritas.
So he's going to have the goods, I'm thinking. If he's a good guy, he seems like a good guy. So...
And remember, he's the principal. He was the principal deputy director. So it means he's the number one deputy director, right? I would assume that's what that means. But just like in other scenarios, the number two is usually the guy that's like actually doing the moving around. So like when Cash was there, he's the head of the FBI. But like say a Bongino may have been doing more and more the day-to-day operations type of stuff. So this guy may have been as well.
I think we just mentioned briefly before the show, a lot of these guys are just the speaking heads, and the people right in the background are the ones that have
the cooking.
more tenure. Yeah, exactly. And more knowledge, they can wait out a president. They're not elected. They don't have term limits. So this guy, wasn't necessarily elected to anything. He never ran for politics that we know of, I don't think. And he probably knows the gig and what's been going on.
The gig, as they say, is up. And dude, I got to find this one post because this is huge, I think. Time Magazine posted this today, actually. Okay. So it's brandy new. Time Magazine. I thought this was just oof. All right. So Time Magazine comes out and says, Justice Department removes news releases on January 6 prosecutions from website. And then a quote, it looks like partisan propaganda. The Justice Department has removed hundreds of news releases related to criminal prosecutions connected to the January 6, 2021 attacks on the U.S. Capitol from its website. It confirmed, characterizing the records as partisan propaganda. The deletions include press releases documenting criminal charges, guilty pleas, convictions, and sentencing tied to the January 6 attack, which saw supporters of President Trump storm the Capitol in an effort to block the certification of his loss to Joe Biden in the 2020 election. After a journalist noted, no, we don't need your help, thank you. Go take your data center and kick rocks. After a journalist noted on X last week that the Justice Department appeared to be quietly deleting the releases, the department's rapid response account publicly confirmed over the weekend that they had been scrubbed from its website, but stated that there was, quote, nothing quiet about it. This is a quote, we are proud to reverse the DOJ's weaponization under the Biden administration, the department wrote. Quote, we will do everything in our power to make whole those who were persecuted for political purposes. This includes stripping DOJ's website of partisan propaganda. Post comes days after the Justice Department announced the creation of a $1.776 billion anti-weaponization fund to compensate people who allege they have been unjustly investigated and prosecuted by the government. As President Donald Trump and his administration had previously repeatedly claimed, Trump and his allies were during President Biden's presidency, and as part of a deal to settle the president's $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS. So, dude, that's crazy. Like that he's like even making these deals with the IRS because they released his filings and a bunch of other people's filings as well. But he was going to sue him for $10 billion. He says, you know what? Put up a friggin' fund for $1.776 billion, and we'll call it the Anti-Weaponization Fund, and I'll drop my lawsuit. And they seem to drop it pretty damn quick, dude.
Yeah, I wish it was a little bit more though, because I just think that that's a great thing that's been done. That now allows the citizens to fight back, from false prosecutions that have occurred. And that was a lot during Biden's administration. And so I just thought it would be a little bit more money, but I guess that is a lot of money. It's just 10 billion's even more.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Some people were absolutely, ran through the ringer.
With the new Fed, I think he's just gonna. It's an institution. The IRS was he taking over the Federal Reserve? So the Federal Reserve is like an institution. So they're gonna rework the institution, and I think the functionality of it probably. It'll be very interesting to see them at work with what's been going on with the building. It costed like $4 billion, and
exactly. Dude, it's going to be good. Well, and you think about it too, right? And at first thought, I was kind of right what you were thinking. I'm like, 1.7 billion, like it should be more because they did harm a lot of people really badly. But when you get into the, what makes a billion, 999,999,999 plus one, that's 1 billion. And then you got another, 750 million after that, 760 million, 770 million after that. So it certainly is a lot of money, and I don't know how many people. I just trying to do the
quick math in my head on how many people are involved. So,
so many.
It should be a lot, but if there's thousands, and
some of them should not be removed. You know what I mean? Like the Ray Epps people, which I don't think ever really got in trouble, but they need to make special mention, or essentially make an example out of these people. because it's bad. Hopefully John Sullivan doesn't get to get any of that fund.
I think we're getting to that point, where if you F around, you're going to find out kind of stage where we have to teach the people that were involved in this, a lesson so that people will never, ever do something like this ever again.
Absolutely.
That's one of the requirements that needs to be happening on this whole journey we've been on.
Mm-hmm. And this one here, I think you had dropped this earlier, and I probably should have had it one story prior, but she's also bringing it up. Catherine Harridge, Miss Follow the Pen. Why are we at 90%? There we go. Miss Follow the Pen, it was a day or two ago, a couple days ago. She says legacy. So I thought that was interesting that she posts legacy. So it's going to be the legacy for Tulsi Gabbard. She declassified highly sensitive records and internal documents from the Obama White House. The records make an even stronger case that the 2016 Russia collusion narrative was not rooted in credible intelligence. Rather, intelligence was manipulated by the outgoing Obama administration in coordination with intelligence community leadership to fit a preferred political narrative. As of May of 26, DNI Gabbard has declassified well over 500,000 pages of government records that were previously withheld from the American people. So I think you're right, dude. I think as she's on her way out the door remember, she's got till next month.
She's gonna declass J6 too, probably.
Yeah, like another 35 days she got. So wait, what were they doing? Were they spying on her? Wait, correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't they spying on her? The CIA was basically raiding her place, spying on her people. So I don't know, dude. I think she's gonna basically make a big release on the way out of here. And this is also an account I like because she was part of this Crossfire Hurricane deal. Key piece of information in the Heritage report that the CIA spied on Tulsi is this, quote, the CIA denied DNI Gabbard's investigators access to key analysts and officials still working in the CIA building, as well as relevant, highly classified intelligence held in compartmented programs. What this means is that documents detailing the Obama-Brennan program to spy and undermine President Trump are still being hidden in classified CIA files, and the CIA is pretending that releasing them will endanger national security. In fact, it will endanger the deep state. During President Trump's first term, Pompeo and Gina Haspel covered up for Obama and Brennan and hid these documents, threatening President Trump that he would have endangered national security if he released them. Looks like the current CIA is continuing with the tradition of cover-up. Of course they're going to, right? They're going to fight until their last breath on the way out the door, dude. So I'm loving this, and I think it's definitely, you're right, we're at D-class period, and I think it's going to get exponentially juicier as the days go until she walks out the door. And again, is she central casting, Mac? I think she is central casting, and I wouldn't doubt if what's his name goes pretty soon too, Hegseth. I wouldn't doubt he maybe moves on or is replaced. Never know.
Yeah, I mean, there's stages of this. As we've noticed, the acting, they just, it's falling true to that pattern. So I'm sticking to it. But I think she was part of the counterintelligence program that Q talks about, COIN.
Intel, hell yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about this stuff is that the CIA and the FBI, they're big entities, and not everyone's bad and not everyone's good. So with that in mind, you're going to have some good people that are trying to save our country and so forth. So I'm curious if we'll ever kind of know, how it all went down, the background. You know what I mean? Like we've been kind of analyzing this in a as a public forum way that they only give us so much information. I'm hoping that maybe later we'll get the full picture.
Yeah, I wonder how much how much are we going to get, right? Like wait, tired of this shit says these voices sound different than the normal Space Shot podcasts. Who's saying that? Wait, Mac, you're Mac still, right? Because I'm Space Shot still. That's Mac.
Yeah,
right?
same me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same Mac, same Space Shot. But yeah, that comment threw me up a little bit. Sting Tammy, yes, Tulsi's going to go out in a blaze of glory, burning it down. She's going to release all the receipts. I like that. And JDP says, probably going to release the cancer cures too. I mean, what won't she release? And I think it'll be very good out the door. And then we're going to have this moving target. He's going to step in like the Blanche and start banging people left and right. Boom, you're going down, you're going down, you're going down. So thought that was interesting. Let's pop this one up here.
I don't know if they do that for procedural, the safety of the individual, or all the above. You know what I mean? You're like, all right, you did your job, you're out of here. We don't want everything on you, so we're bringing in the next person.
That's very possible. Yeah. You dropped. I'm pretty sure
they do get like death threats and everything. So
dude.
I'm sure.
I couldn't imagine.
And then her husband is, I think, terminally ill with bone cancer, a rare form. So prayers goes out to that. That's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Dude, and this was a new one for me. I think you had dropped this Josh Phillips clip, and I posted it, or I pulled it up. So let me mute here. Okay, if I go full screen, I think it pops it right over. All right, so I'm finding out on Discord, if I upload a video to it, I have to bring the whole screen over. But the cool part is, once I minimize the video, the whole screen goes to the other side by itself.
Yeah, this is a cool video.
Yeah, this is definitely very interesting. So again, remember, guys, I kind of make, joke about this stuff where I say, like, hey, we went and bombed Iran and looked around and nobody did a thing about it. Then we went to Venezuela, we stole a president. Looking around, nobody did a thing about it. We went back for seconds on Iran, which was still over there, and it looks like we're about to be buttoning things up. But again, nobody did a thing about it. But here we have something that I was certainly not aware of, that may have been happening around the time when we went in and grabbed Maduro.
Venezuela, the planned war that did not happen. We actually almost had a war in South America. Now, right before Venezuela's former leader, Nicolas Maduro, was captured, taken to New York City to stand trial, he was actually preparing to invade Guyana, which is just to the east of them. The Venezuelan Navy was in place. Venezuelan troops were brought to the country's border. Lula in Brazil was getting ready to support the invasion. Now, look, there's a bit of history to this. Several years back, long story short, one of the world's largest oil reserves was found in waters just offshore Guyana. Maduro wanted that oil. So he claimed Venezuela had historical ownership over all that oil. It's a common phrase, by the way. Russia uses that to claim Crimea. The Chinese Communist Party uses that to claim Taiwan in the South China Sea. Basically, international courts, they rejected Maduro's claims. No, you do not have historical ownership. So what he did instead, he went and passed a law in his own country saying they have the right to do it. Well, international law says they can't do it. Well, the courts that I control say I can, so I'm going to do it. Right when Venezuela was about to invade, right when the whole war seemed inevitable, that was when U.S. Special Operations Forces flew in and captured Maduro. A possible war in Latin America was actually avoided. Alongside what would have been a humanitarian crisis, this would have led to waves of displaced people heading to the United States. That has now been avoided because of that.
So I certainly didn't have a damn clue about that, Mac, whatsoever.
I knew about the island and they found the oil reserve. I didn't realize that he was planning to strike. So that was interesting. You kind of wonder why the timing happened when it did. That was why.
Yeah, I had no clue about it whatsoever, dude. Like literally no clue whatsoever. But again, we we find these things out later, and we fast forward a little bit. So I'm going to the next clip of you put in with Stephen Miller and Jesse here. So I'll pull this one up for the folks here really quick.
Well, what's going on in Cuba today, Jesse, is that long-awaited justice is being set in motion for the Americans who were viciously and brutally murdered by the Castro regime, by this communist outpost 90 miles off the shores of the United States of America. Many Americans may not realize this history. You had American planes, civilian planes, unarmed, running humanitarian missions in international waters, and Raul Castro and the Cuban Communist military ordered them shot from the sky, murdering our American brothers. And now today, finally, accountability is coming for Castro. And a very important point about Cuba, which many Americans also may not realize but need to know. Cuba, positioned just a 45-minute flight from American shores, has been a staging ground for America's adversaries for decades. It is the last outpost of communism. It is the last outpost of the Cold War. American presidents for generations have tried to deal with the problem, the threat of this communist foothold just miles away from America's shores. And President Trump, through his leadership and his vision, has brought us closer than ever to the day when Cuba will be free and when Cuba will no longer be a threat to America, but Cuba will be a friend and partner to America, which is essential for our national security.
So I had that one labeled wrong, dude. I thought because of the title it said Iran, but this is actually good to talk about this because it brings me to this question of like, wait, isn't President Trump like running our military a little thin, Mac? Like, let's just say this was normal course, no plan, no Q team, no nothing, like none of this stuff. We were just a regular U.S. military, and we have all these operations going out, kind of like Rome trying to keep spreading their land and trying to take over new areas, but yet we got operations going on everywhere. Apparently Africa, as we saw last week, South America, Iran, the Middle East, like all over the place. He seemed like he would be running us a little thin to be attacking Iran and possibly going after Cuba, Alberta, all these different territories that he keeps saying will be the 51st state. Obviously not talking about Iran in that one, but in a normal course of business, wouldn't we be running ourselves a little bit thin if there wasn't some greater scheme to what we're seeing here?
No, we're locked and loaded. we're busting at the seams, I believe, and all caught up on the military front. President Trump's reiterated that numerous times, and always talk about it. There's technology that he hints at.
I love this, dude. Ready? Here we go. From 20 minutes ago, our president. This is what I want back, dude. Like, and I don't, unfortunately, we're not gonna. I don't know. Maybe we can get it back, but the old America. I think we can get it back to a way of life where people are respectful of each other, and I think that's just. Unfortunately, there's so many people out there that are just NPCs is the best way I could say. They don't think like we do. They don't think more than the cursory, like, okay, what am I going to have for dinner? What am I going to have for lunch? Got to go to work. All right, got to go to school tomorrow. Wake up, take a shower, do this, go that. And they're not thinking about anything other than, what is in their immediate life. And I think that's, unfortunately, there's too many people out there like that, in my opinion. Need to get back to something a little bit more palatable. Dude, look at this, dude. He's just going off like crazy. This is funny, dude. Our pool is bigger than skyscraper. I love it, dude. Everything's the best, right? Look at this One World Trade Center, 1776. We're gonna go 2030. Yeah. Anybody have a look at 2030?
You just look at the difference. I think it brings up something. There's a bunch of stuff in here. I didn't go into it, but it's interesting. It'd be a fun one to do. All those numbers.
I'm just looking up 2030 post to see if there's anything talking about Washington. Think about WAPO. Every battle is won before it's ever fought, is a quote in that post 2030. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Interesting. Okay. What do you think, dude? Is he gonna go? Oh, there we go. Is he gonna go away in 28? I already know the answer.
I don't think so.
Where is it? Right here.
There's a couple of them this past week.
Let's fire this one up
With
here.
Finland, they make icebreakers. They make the best icebreakers. We're going to learn everything we can learn. We're going to shortly make them ourselves. But we're making, right now, currently under construction, we have 11 beautiful. And I said, come on, when's the first one coming? They said, in 28. I said, I'm going to be here in 28. Maybe I'll be here in 32, too. I don't know. Maybe I will. But I'm going to be here in 28. And I'll tell you, I said, that's great because I'm going to be there at the dedication. They have been trying to get icebreakers for years and years, and no president.
I don't think he's joking around or trolling there.
I don't either. And I don't know that I can verify it with any proof, but a couple of people are posting some out, and I think it started with Benny Johnson. I think he may have gotten something off of a Facebook post or something like that. But he was saying that Trump, I don't even know if I can find it, President Trump essentially posted or filed an amicus brief. Amicus, let me see if I can pull this up. But he got fact-checked on it. Let me see, supporting Texas versus... So this is me searching Benny Johnson's for amicus. I don't see anything here, but I did see earlier people were posting out that he had posted, oh, look, he's with his wife and kids. I'm not gay, I swear. But there was something about him posting an amicus brief essentially to nullify his first term so he could get another term and then go to 3032. I think I posted it into the Telegram earlier. Did you happen to see that? Did I post it into the Telegram earlier? Things are going a little crazy for me lately. A little crazy. Okay, here we go.
I didn't see one.
See if I posted this. But yeah, I definitely saw it, and then but I did try to verify it and look it up to see if I could find anything to it. But and maybe somebody made a fake post of Benny's, whatever. I don't know. Well, let's see. Maybe he removed it. Who
But
knows?
I think they did do something to get Biden's presidency, the auto pen, nullified. Is that anything that he did would be would not be in law or not be an executive order, be nullified, except for the pardon of Hunter Biden that they can match up his real signature to.
I played this one yesterday. I thought this was pretty clever, huh? Spencer Pratt's doing these stencils on the street, basically cleaning off the garbage.
Yeah, we'll see with Spencer. He seems a little too fake right now. He got caught not staying in his new mobile home that he said he was going to be staying in. So I was just like, oh boy. So,
Yeah,
but it looks like his intentions are good. I just hope that it holds true.
Didn't he also say somebody was paying for him to stay in a hotel or something? I think there was somebody who was also paying for him to stay in a hotel.
That's tough life, huh?
Oh my God!
The life of a politician,
right? Hopefully, did I fall for a stupidity thing? Well, if I did, this guy Jack Straw did. Got more followers than I did. So, I'll pop this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. They're like, what the hell is this idiot talking about? All right, so I probably needed to look at the thread a little bit closer, and I never know. I could be right or could be wrong. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. So again, the Benny Johnson show. That's what I saw, and a bunch of people were posting this out, but I didn't see this, Carolyn Glenn. So maybe this guy just saw what I saw quick. Oh, Benny Johnson show, post it. See you later. Have a nice day. Trump has filed an amicus brief with Supreme Court to nullify his first term due to the malicious persecution. If successful, he wouldn't be leaving. This would be his first actual term, leaving in 28 for open discussion. But then claim that Trump filed an amicus brief to nullify his first term originates from a known satire page that states nothing in this page is real. Facebook ad. This is the crap we go through, guys, to try to give you guys stories. This is how BS and uphill it is nowadays to bring you guys genuine news.
I can't trust a Facebook post like that. There's no links. There's just a post with a picture of Trump.
But it's got Benny Johnson, so even this guy fell for it.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Unless he's trying to make a point. I don't know. It's weird what they do for clicks and likes and all that stuff.
Or to make $1. Let's pull this one up. And we happen to be speaking about Spencer Pratt. I brought one. I happen to have a link, and actually, I got the next one I was asking you about earlier about Avril Haines. That was Mike Benz. So this part was pretty interesting. I thought this was cool, dude. And actually, you know what? While he's saying what he's talking about here, look at this not just from California, but also on the broader scale for not only the United States, but the rest of the world. So think about what he's saying here, and think about once you take that out of just California, the whole rest of the United States and the rest of the world, if we could get rid of a majority of what he's talking about here.
What are your plans for the over 40,000 homeless in Los Angeles?
Yeah, they're not homeless. They're drug addicts. Most of these people are addicted to fentanyl and meth. This isn't Spencer making it up.
Are you saying they don't have homes?
There is places for all of these people to sleep in LA. No matter what anybody tells you, we have housing and shelter for everyone that's living on the street. They're choosing to be on the street because they want to do drugs. They don't want rules. They don't want to listen. They want to have animals to abuse. This idea that they're forced on the street right now is a lie. That our city, there are spots for all of these people. They are choosing because they're an addict, and you can do fentanyl and super meth on the sidewalk with no repercussions. These places are not as they have to follow some rules. You can't torture a dog in some of these houses. You can't just attack people. You can't just be naked.
Where are you going to move?
Well, I just released a 9-minute video, so you can.
I think I saw your video.
Yeah, so it's very detailed.
But it's going to take time to build the facility and money.
No.
How fast do you think you can do it?
These people can literally. I went to Washington and I saw miles of the most insane prefabricated housing and building. I asked all the CEOs of these companies, I said, how long does this take? I met with FEMA and HUD, 3 days. 3 days. And all of this is cheaper than trying to take over, kick senior citizens out of their buildings. This is what happens. They kick them out, and then the NGOs come in and they spend 4 years. This is LA. This is LA's timetable.
Where is this facility going to be?
It's on beautiful federal land property.
Where, in LA County?
Well, when I'm mayor, I'll go meet with the federal government and I'll get the property. Right now, I'm just running, so I can't give you the exact address because I don't have the legal responsibility to go represent Los Angeles and say, can I have this land? But when I'm mayor, I promise you, because we have the...
Oh, dude, he makes some good points about people, if they don't want to stay in certain facilities, they don't want to basically play by the rules, right? So they have housing, and they do have systems and programs in place to help people, but yet they choose to not do that. And then I think in this next minute, he gets into some interesting points about neighboring states versus the people that are here, dude. So he makes a pretty bold claim. Anything you want to add before I let the rest continue here, sir?
No, he seems well-intended. I don't know if it's this interview, but he talks about bringing in the CDC, and I wasn't a big fan of that statement, but his intention seems good. He's just got to get the right ideas formulated in order to accomplish it. So I like the idea of putting them into homes and actually building stuff instead of not doing stuff for people. I think that's the biggest thing we need to be accomplished. So getting addicts recovered and the homeless off the street go hand in hand. And I think that's a big thing he can accomplish, it sounds like, in his area.
Yeah, and he's got a very interesting in this next minute here. It's like, well, what do we do with all the people? Even if they don't want to go in these houses, they're just going to continue to stay on the streets. He's got a very interesting plan for this one.
Olympics coming, and everybody in the government wants LA to be the #1 most beautiful city. They will work with me to give me the land I need.
So you're going to move these 40,000 people somewhere, and you're going to have this facility up in, you said, how long?
Here's what you got to realize.
90 days?
Let me explain something. These 40,000 people, 60% of them, City Watch just announced this week, are not from Los Angeles. They're not from California. These people have been bussed in by scam rehabs, scam NGOs, scam homeless nonprofits. These people, when I unplug them and say, we're not taking our tax money anymore, they're all going to Seattle where the mayor will welcome them. These are products to a lot of people. So the people that want to keep doing drugs and live on the sidewalk, a lot of these people are going to leave. The other ones, there's a lot of criminals. There's people that are getting naked in front of kids. They're going to jail. The people that are torturing animals, they're going to jail. So not everyone goes in the same box. So we have the money, we have the resources, and we have the facilities.
Imagine that.
Sounds like he's talked to some law enforcement.
Yeah, for sure. It makes
What are your plans for the over 40,000?
No more of you there. But no, it's interesting too. But it's like, are they bussing in people from other states? I wouldn't doubt it. I certainly wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I don't know how long ago it was several years ago, and I was like talking about how our government was doing legalized human trafficking. I had the realization, and I was just like, this is insane. I can't believe that and it just going under under these NGO names and stuff. But when we found out why all the illegal immigrants were coming into our country, it was because of those entities. And there's a huge money train behind this. And this is where we're going stateside, like California. There was a big thing they just came out with the homeless and how they were using their vote. We know that, but they were also using them for other things. And possibly it was the federal funding organizations. Once you get them signed up, you can have accountability for helping people out and so forth. I'm not sure, but do you remember seeing anything about that, Space Shot?
Just the part you were talking about as far as they were paying people on Skid Row for votes, but also that gets more funding, because if you get more people voting in an area, you could say we have more people here, so we need more funding for other things as well. So I wouldn't doubt that either. So yeah,
they were registering them to vote, and then they could use in other programs. They would give them their social security number, enough information to go get a loan, so that they would steal from these people's identity, getting a loan, not paying them back. That was another way they were using the homeless. And there's so much more. It's literally a human trafficking operation. He was right. They're using them as products.
Yeah, 100%. What do you make of this, dude?
It's some good progress.
But the Adelsons got him, and Miriam Adelson, and again, for me, it goes back to my high school sweetheart of 30 years just died of this long, drawn-out thing, and he's already bedded at least 2, maybe 3 women within 2 months of her death. So that enough right there is enough to tell me all about that guy.
Slowly but surely, we're getting out all the rhinos. We're putting in Trumplicans, people that are on on the same wavelength as what Trump wants and what the voters want. And it's a great thing to see. And we're not seeing the Soros candidates win. And it seems like under the cover, the elections are getting smoothed out, ironically, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it definitely is. And I mean, what was the vote last week? 37-0. So wait, we need to fix the voting still. It's like, wait, he just won, all of his things won 37-0. So,
yeah, and Trump's on Maryland. That's a big one. 500,000 fake ballots. That's incredible. So, that in the background, once he pointed that out, I'm sure we've got, feet on the ground trying to figure all that out or put a stop to it. I already have. So.
President Trump's endorsements dominate May 19th primaries. Trump endorsed candidates went 37-0 last night, a perfect night across multiple states. Dude, Pennsylvania, to get 10-0 in Pennsylvania, which was the worst. It was
Oregon, 1-0.
That's great. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Strong showing for American First priorities heading into the midterms. And these people can't see. Oh, look at. Yay. That's funny. Well, apparently they're making deals now, or allegedly trying to make a deal with Iran right now. And apparently they sent Aragachi or their their two main people. So essentially they're making it seem like an Iran deal is close, but then, we kind of get, it looks really good, and then all of a sudden it gets... looks good, and then all of a sudden we get something on the back far. So on the contrary of it. So like this right here. Just in, Iran was struck by the U.S. after the IRGC got caught laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. These strikes took place in Bandar Abbas, a home to key Iranian base. Missile launch sites were also blasted to smithereens. Fox is reporting this is not an end of the ceasefire as of right now. Iran doesn't want to go down this road. And again, dude, by all accounts, their oil facilities are filled up to the max. I've shown Karg Island, where it has oil on the floor. And
they got to burn off oil. I don't know if they've started it, but they got to burn off oil or relieve the pressure because the pipes will burst. If they don't, yeah.
You got to stop the oil from coming out of that, out of those producing wells. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. And
how this Iran thing's going on. There's a lot more going on in this situation than we're being told currently. I have that. Don't you feel like that?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The nuclear dust, but there's like commercial flights coming in and out of Iran, I believe, the past couple days. So I don't, there's some negotiation going on, in the background.
Interesting.
We'll find out eventually, but it is interesting because Iran literally can't do much right now.
And then who you
all they can do is really defend themselves. What's that? Oh,
depends on who you listen to, right? Some people will tell you that we're losing left and right, and then our side will tell you that we're winning.
Yeah, we can fly planes over their country, and every once in a while one gets shot down from one of their missile launchers. That happens, but they have total air control over Iran. We do. That's pretty much submission.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this.
Right now, it's just about protecting the people and getting the communist regime out.
100%. And I'm gonna let this play for about 20 seconds. Okay, when you're done,
one other thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick.
You're good.
I've noticed that a lot of guys, a lot of leaders in the Middle East, they speak a lot of proper English. You notice that? So there's that England connection.
That's where they all go to college.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Exactly. So some of them go to America, but I think you're statistically correct.
So I'm literally gonna let this play for maybe, I don't know, 10-15 seconds or so. I think you guys will find this interesting. And again, we're not gonna get this information unless we're hearing it from this guy who has good contacts inside, and we'll see how long it takes to flood out into our reality.
On the IRGC's Hezbollah branch in Lebanon, we are now seeing huge evacuations by the civilians in the capital in Beirut. We also now have a report that at least 5 IRGC commanders who were hiding in Iraq have been eliminated by the United States military. And we're going to give you guys the latest update on the so-called US-Iran talks, especially around the issue of nuclear, obviously the enrichment, but also the frozen assets, the financial frozen assets of the IRGC. All right, so we have a lot of videos to show you guys, especially coming in from Beirut. There is a lot happening by the IDF. We have a video statement by the Prime Minister.
Okay, so that's the part I wanted to basically bring to people's attention, is that he's saying right here, we're also having reports, and again, this guy has connections inside of Iran. His father lives near Tehran. He grew up in Iran until he was 14 and then moved to, just like Max said, England. But he said, we also now have reports that at least 5 IRGC commanders who are hiding in Iraq have been eliminated by the U.S. military. And we're going to give you the latest update on the so-called U.S.-Iran talks, especially around the issue of nuclear. Dude, did you know that a lot of these IRGC commanders are actually Iraqi.
That's what I heard. I didn't know it for sure.
Excuse me. Whoop. They sure are, and it's interesting, right? We had our big kerfluffle with them as well, but we don't get reporting like this outside of, you know, this guy and us and a few other folks that are, you know, reporting what they are seeing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the dynamics were, but I do. You remember when I guess was Cuba was accused of infiltrating Venezuela's government? Wasn't that the
They were the guards.
The storyline? It was the guards. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they do.
All the guards that were guarding Maduro when we went over there and took him were the ones that got killed were all Cuban. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah, it's weird, right? Like what's going on there? But he also, that guy 2CTV says that there is I don't know how many he said. I want to say 100,000, maybe 1 million. I forget the number, but he said they're called like the Immortal Guard, and that they are essentially waiting towards the end of this war to kick off to the point where they will, you know, set to the streets essentially and help overthrow the IRGC. We'll see how that happens. And did you know? This is just so you know, Trump shuts down US aid and suddenly the Democratic Party is broke. All right, we got VoteHub. Cash on hand, the RNC, $123.9 million. Debt, zero. DNC, cash on hand, $14 million. Debt, $17 million. Wait, so Mac, if they got cash on hand of, I'm no accountant here, but if they got cash on hand of $14 million, but they're in $17 million debt, they're in negatives. But we kind of knew this was coming, right? Like, that's the big thing. We got to shut down their funding because that's how they get all their pushback, and it's all money. All these essentially paid assets out there will do whatever as long as you pay them, right? And we've seen this, unfortunately.
Yeah, a big chunk of it was our, if not all of it, our taxpayer money.
Yeah, a majority of it was taxpayer money.
That's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. And I guess you have billionaires, but why the billionaires should be donating to DNC, shouldn't they? The ones that are been behind the scenes doing stuff. This is a really good sign, is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah.
So,
dude, look what he's doing, dude. He's going off today.
Yeah, I know. It's great. And we got to look at pallets of cash and the
dude,
Q-post.
If 2047 is the one where they're talking about pallets of cash, I'm going to crap myself because it's very possible it could be. Let's see. Anonymous, Alice in Wonderland. Let's just bring it over because 847 would be 2047 military. And then we could also go to 847 if he just did that. Let's see. I think that's too early in the drops. March 6th, it could be. No. And again, dude, for me, that was much easier. Dealing with Kim over there, it was so much easier that we handled this, and it didn't, we didn't have any sort of bombing that we had to do, and so I look at that like North Korea was like their number 2 base, and Iran is their number 1 base, and that's the big final boss as far as I see it.
Well, Venezuela, I think, was one too. From what it looked like it.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
But no, yeah, Iran definitely was a big one, and North Korea was huge. They had that whole mountain go up when they were trying to. We don't really know the whole story, but they had a nuclear material underneath the mountain. The whole thing blew up, fell on itself.
It was a coincidence or something like that. Yeah, North Korea can no longer a nuclear threat. A mountain collapse. China seeking North Korea commitment to fire short and long range ballistic missiles pre-election. So yeah, this is crazy, dude. And again, it seems so much easier to handle them, and maybe that's all it took, right? What a coincidence. The mountain that housed North Korea's nuclear weapons and testing collapsed. Unbelievable timing. I wonder if critically important materials as well as scientists, aka the bomb makers, were inside when it happened. Shocking. No global news agency suspects. We had nothing to do with it. Enjoy the crumbs. So, like, dude, these are the things that I'm talking about that I don't know that we'll ever get answers to. So, you know, part of me thinks they'll release some of the stuff to us, and we'll get somewhat of an answer on some of it, but we're not going to get the fulsome answer on everything.
No,
but
this is a really good sign. They got no money. It's great.
Well, what do they do when they have money? We know that they go after us.
Yeah, they cheat on elections.
Quite badly. As I'm muting myself as I'm talking here, I'll see what the folks in the chat are up to. You guys all being good out there. If you guys could do us a favor and click us the thumbs up if you were enjoying the show, of course. We haven't had our 7 or 8 jerk-offs come over and visit us yet, Mac. So we're at 330 up and 0 down at the moment. So look for any negative comments in the chat, guys. Let me see.
I think we're good right now. I'm checking it.
No, we're doing definitely good. So we do
appreciate that.
Yeah, we just get some folks here and there that apparently can't get themselves on the top 50 leaderboard, and then figure if they give us some thumbs down, maybe they can get themselves on there, which I think is funny. It'd be more, yeah, you're right. I was thinking that just as I was saying it. She says, don't jinx it. Like, oh wait, bing, 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 bing. Oh, dude, so this is so interesting, and as we were told, dude, right? The further we go, the more crazier it becomes, right? Up is down, left is right, and I think it's still gonna be even more crazier as we're going forward. I think those posts, you know, we're prepping us for a lot of what we're dealing with right now, and negative comment. That's one pi squared. You're good, bro. But dude, what do you think about, like, thank you, Oski Wee Wee, which I love the name, says that they're listening to going to watch Matrix, and you're gonna come listen to us. So you're gonna listen to Matrix live, my co-host live, and then us afterwards. I see where we stand. Thank you very much. Yeah, we got our one down there. There we go. But what was I going to say, Mac? Like, what do you think as far as, like, how we were prepped with the drops? And this is, I think, this is worth talking about a little bit, because I feel like a lot of people, why didn't people fall off, like, when Trump started saying that the Epstein stuff was a Dem hoax, right? And then we were getting the pushback left and right. But it's like, as soon as we went after Iran, I can only link it to the Maju or the Israel thing, right? Maju or MUH Israel.
Oh, the money, Obama.
Yeah, but it's like, we knew that this was coming, right? Like, did you have it? Let me ask you this: before we hit Iran, did you think that before all this was done that we were going to do anything with Iran, or do you think we were just going to kind of go business as usual?
No, the Q drops had mentioned Iran, and we had been talking about that, you know,
yeah,
in the background for some time. So I wasn't surprised. We knew that Obama really, really liked them, so that and gave him a lot of money in cash. That should tell you something. And he cleaned out the banks around D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I mean, the dude. So yeah, they're bad people. They're doing bad things. For whatever reason, we got to wait to hear all the nasty stuff for later, but it's coming because President Trump keeps trolling Obama. It's just constant. The past, I don't know, what would you say, month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, he's been all over him recently.
But the past week or two, it's been nonstop Obama references and connections to Obama. So I'm buckling up. I can't wait. You know, grab some popcorn. It'll happen at some point soon, because we got the elections coming up. We got Tulsi resigning. She'll throw some you know, it's coming. We got some great things ahead.
Yeah, and it's just it's. I just wish there's a couple people out there that I wish were enjoying it along with me. But like we were prepped on this stuff, and like I don't understand why it's a big surprise. But everybody that's blackpilled right now is just defaulting to the Israel thing.
They just have to take an extra step and just notice that the news is controlled by is so much controlled by just a few hands of people that are billionaires. And do they like President Trump? No. It becomes very obvious at that point. But you have to question the truth that you're being told and do your own kind of research. People don't want to escape their comfort zone a lot of times, and then once you see it, it's the Matrix thing. You can't not stop seeing it.
Dude, did you happen to see the screen flickering right there for a little while? Look, it's doing it again. Oh, as I scroll.
I'm not seeing it.
Okay, good. Hopefully you guys.
Oh, I saw a little bit right there.
But yeah, it was only on here, and it was doing it while I wasn't even touching anything. But then when I went to another site, it wasn't doing it. So I don't know if it's True Social, because it's not doing it here. And when I go back to True Social, getting all weird on me. Yeah, I just find it's so crazy to me that some people kind of fell off, and we were definitely showed this for sure. And yeah, Pi Squared says Q graduates no. And unfortunately, some people are the folks that were actually into the Q stuff at the time as well. And thank you for reversing that negative thumbs down, whoever that was. But yeah.
I mean, with the Q stuff, people can put it into AI and kind of ask the questions and get a response.
No,
So,
true. I like
but a lot,
questions.
a lot of it's come true. I haven't. We always thought it was going to happen a lot sooner, but now that times progress, we know the game plan. We know what's going on. So it took a little while for them to disclose it, but we were correct about it. The grand conspiracy and more.
Yeah, it's coming for sure.
Buckle up.
Yeah, and to quote Wheezy in the chat, it says, "I believe Trump and God." And again, I feel like he's earned. For me, anyways, he's earned my trust because he's been in there for how many years. And to Mac's point about a couple of minutes ago, all one needs to do is let's go take a status check, shall we? CNBC still bagging on Trump? Check. CNN still bagging on Trump? Well, except for Scott Jennings, check. The View, all these people dead set against President Trump? Check. So, yeah, all the media and everybody else in the world is against him. But now we have people in Republican or allegedly in the Republican side that are like, oh, but he's doing what Susie Wiles done and Jared and Howard Lutnick. And by the way, I mentioned this yesterday, dude. Where's Howard Lutnick been lately? Every one of his videos.
Oh, he's been around.
But he used to be over his shoulder.
He talked at the rally the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, before Trump came out. He's getting in a little bit of heat because he did something. He donated to House Republicans ahead of the Epstein testimony, $5 million. Do you have that?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah, so here, I'll post that down. Yeah, the jury's out for me. I mean, President Trump likes the guy, he's around. I really hope he's not involved in anything, but I
don't trust him.
It doesn't seem, yeah. We got question marks. We've got questions.
Yeah, we just got questions. But to the what I'm kind of talking about, especially, and I'm going to pull your thing up in a second, is that like if you remember, like President Trump doing a video, he was like right over his shoulder, like everything, like Air Force One, he's like right there in the Air Force, like peeking around the corner. I just have not seen that same thing in the last many weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see.
Maybe
this one down here. Howard Lutnick.
It could be for to stay out of President Trump to stay out of controversy, possibly as things are unfolding. Go ahead.
Very possible. I'm just going to play this from here if I can. Let's see. Actually,
I don't know what the video is about, but that's the whole article's there.
All right, we'll pull her up. The Daily Mail. Here we go. Bing. Howard Lutnick under scrutiny for $5 million donation to House Republicans made weeks before his Epstein testimony. And are you allowed to give $5 million to anybody? Like, whether they're on your side or not? I don't think you're allowed to donate that much money anyways, are you? Or maybe that's presidential
I do
campaigns.
not know.
Yeah, there was a video here. Let's see, though. Commerce Secretary Lutnick donated $5 million to a group that supports electing House Republicans just weeks before he was set to sit down with lawmakers and be interviewed about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. New York Times uncovered the donation on Friday, stating it was made on April 1st, April Fool's Day, 4 weeks after the House Oversight Committee booked Lutnick for an interview. So he waited 4 weeks and said, hey, I'm going to pay him off with a $5 million bribe. That closed-door session took place on May 6th, with House Oversight Democrats continuing to call for Lutnick's resignation, claiming questions remain about why Lutnick said he cut ties with Epstein's years before he actually did. Donation was to the Congressional Leadership Fund, Maine super PAC, working to retain Republicans' majorities in the House of Reps. This was Lutnick's first political donation since serving in President Donald Trump's cabinet, though he's previously donated to Congressional Leadership Fund in previous cycles. It tied with his largest ever federal donation, which was $5 million towards Trump's super PAC during the 2024 campaign, Times said. Oh, boy. So was he trying to shut some people up so he didn't get any tough questions?
At this point, it'll all unfold. He's gotten in the spotlight. People are paying attention, and as information will come out, he'll have nowhere to run unless he's, truthful.
And look at this, dude. It says Richard Gere's Nepo baby son Homer strips off in Euphoria for explicit sex scene with Sydney Sweeney. Think they pulled the Jenny Gerbils out or what? Anybody remembers that old reference?
I just don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore. Why does Sydney Sweeney need to get like naked now? It's so weird. It's a ritualistic thing,
Yeah, I mean, I like her politics and stuff, but everybody's like all goo-goo about her. It's like, yeah, she's got some nice boobs, but she kind of got like a Down syndrome-esque face, like her eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're saying. I'm not understanding the hype as much as everyone is. She's pretty girl, but it seems a little forced.
Is she a lady boy?
And what about the lady reporter that her reaction, like her face when the shooting happened outside of the White House? Did you see those memes?
Oh,
kind of reminds me. No, it kind of reminds me of Sydney Sweeney's when she's like, "What's that?" Her face, the facial feature. I've put a couple memes in the chat before. I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to pulling up this DC shooting thing.
Hold on a second.
I covered it yesterday too. Oh wait, I got 3 memes in a row here. I might have videos. I don't know. I got 3 in 1 here. The Premium 24.
Okay, maybe. There you go.
This is so funny. Let's start it over here. And again, this one thought the least of it. It was like, what? Yeah, I don't care. Maybe she realized that it was farthest away.
Her awareness is terrible.
I know. Is that a gunshot? Wait, what was that?
Public support on Capitol Hill.
What is that?
It's weakening.
Yeah, make sure you get your microphone off first, buddy.
What is that?
Yeah, get closer. Oh my word. And she just sat there the whole time? Oh wait, is this? Let me go walk. Wait, I hear gunshots. I need to go find it. And this one, when she came around the thing, she literally kicked the microphone. And at 3 a.m, the other night, it sounded like another gunshot through my microphone sound. But this is so stupid, dude. Wait, what is that? Gunshots, idiot, run. Wait, what is that? Wait.
Forever a meme.
Oh God, you're gonna be the meme of cluelessness for the rest of your life. Julie Sirkin.
The memes have been outrageous.
Oh, they've already started. Oh God, let me see. Probable spam. Come on, nothing else on this one. This is, I think, all we need to do is do this. Let's do this and let's meme away, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta hear how loud it was for her. Let's see.
What is that?
That's loud.
Well, dude, you know,
for her, that's loud.
Yeah, to give her a little bit of a backup here. I mean, they were doing a bunch of major construction. I mean, wow, that guy's hammer got really strong quick, huh? What's this? Dude, the memes have began.
What is that?
And it's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
Oh my God! Glad I could take one for the team with NBC on summer break. Thanks for the memes, internet. Hope you'll stick around for the reporting. Oh no, we got you, girl. Look at somebody put a friggin' one of those old-fashioned battle helmets on her. When you grow up, find a career, but your meme past catches up with you. That little girl. Oh, dude, I could do this all damn day. Put various different people with the same face on there. MAGA Britney. Game of Thrones. The White Walker. Wait, what is that? Dude. Okay, let me settle myself for a second. I got to see what the chat's roasting us or having fun as well here. This is funny. Darwin Awards runner-up. And just so you guys know, I always read the comments and then I go to read the person who posted it because I don't pick out anybody in particular. So the comments that stick out to me are the ones that I read. So Darwin Awards runner-up, Iron Cyclist wrote, James Kin, too dumb to be scared. Dina Marie 66, how right is this one, Mac? She's the dummy that gets killed first in the movies. What's that noise? She's the one that says, I'll be right back. Oh, God. Jeffrey was funding John Luke Brunel's modeling agency. Sure was. I hurt from laughing, Wheezy saying. Very rhythmic Patriot chick. She's a dumb kid, Dina Marie. All right, let me go back a little bit here. You mean they stuff Lindsay in the closet like E.T. with stuffed animals? I mean, I'm just reading, I guess, the end of another one. As she falls to the ground, dummy. Is that what the word downy came from? So dumb, no Academy Awards for her. Just because he... That's not on the script. Look, Phenom Anon. Looks like green screen Iron Cyclist. Yeah, dude. I'm loving this stuff, but again, remember they took shots at him, dude. And I had a post earlier, and I don't need to pull it up again, but it shows like how many shootings at the White House under first Trump administration, then the Biden, and then Trump. And yeah, there was none under Biden, dude. Not that I want to see anybody at his administration get shot at, but oh, nope. Debbie, all right, so I gotta handle this one really quick here, Mac. So this is just so because my son went above and beyond and wanted to make me some thumbnails for my thing here. He's gonna get me in hot water with Bree, but Debbie says, wait, you got 2 shows live right now? So he did this, just so you guys know here, in case you guys happen to see it. He put live, and I fell for that too a few times on a few people's channels where it says live, and I'm like, oh, they're live, click on it, and it's not. So this is what you got to look for, Debbie, on the right there. This one, and then the people that are viewing. So the live in the top left corner, he made those. Just a little heads up there for you. But all right, Mac, as we're kind of winding down towards the end of the show here, what do we need to cover that we didn't? Oh, I know something that we need to cover that we didn't. Which one do I want to go to first? Do you want to do the aliens or the COVID? Let's do COVID first. You had dropped this for Cyber Mike Benz. It's a 9-minute video, but I think you said in the first minute or two we can get out of the way what we need to. And again, these people need to be made an example of to the point where they will never think about trying the crap they tried again.
Avril Haines, which is another huge thing here because CIA scientists concluded that COVID came from a lab. Well, who was the deputy head of the CIA? Again, the deputy is more in the weeds than the director in any, whether that's State Department.
To our point that we made earlier about like the people underneath, like Tulsi's second in charge, he's pretty much doing more of the day-to-day operations.
Department of War, CIA, USAID, the administrator, the director, the number one has to deal with the interagency, the stakeholder consensus, the political, the funding. The head of the agency doesn't do the in-the-weeds work. People report up to the deputy is the workhorse, the keeper of all of the knowledge. In fact, there are many things that the deputy will deliberately not tell the head of the agency, and that the head of the agency will tell the deputy, don't tell me this, because it's the head of the agency who gets called to testify before Congress. And they want to be able to say to Congress, I have no information about that. I haven't heard anything about that, not to my knowledge. And if there's some written communication from the deputy to the administrator about those details, then the plausible deniability is blown. So it's the deputy who really runs the nitty gritty and is the keeper of secrets, much more so than the actual head of the agency. The head of the agency is, for the most part, the veto vote on the deputy. But the deputy is the workhorse, grunt, and the keeper of secrets.
So, Mac, I think just that part right there is a good basis to kind of back up what we were talking about earlier. And that was a minute 15, but I think we should definitely go on for another minute or so to let him talk about her part in this COVID thing. Yeah, this is definitely good. But I'm actually very glad that he brought that up, because it does prove what we were talking about earlier, that the number two is more into the day-to-day activities.
And the deputy head of the CIA, when the U.S. military and ODNI and CIA were working on gain-of-function coronaviruses in 2015, the deputy head of the CIA was Avril Haines. Avril Haines then played the key role in representing the U.S. intelligence community in the Ep210 coronavirus outbreak pandemic simulator in October 2019, and then was made the head of the ODNI by the Biden administration day one, January 2021, at the peak point of the virus. Why was Avril Haines made the head of the ODNI? The most important geopolitical issue, trade issue, intelligence issue, global issue at that time in January 2021, and for all of 2021, was COVID-19. So how did Avril Haines become the head of the entire intelligence community? Probably because she was the keeper of secrets from the CIA about the coronavirus outbreak in the first place. And we know that in September 2015, the CIA and ODNI reached out to Ralph Baric to discuss a possible project on coronavirus evolution and adapting coronaviruses to humans. Less than 2 months later, Ralph Baric and Zhengli Shi, Dr. Zhengli Shi, the bat lady, the Wuhan Institute of Virology bat lady. This is her, Zhengli Shi, the bat lady. 2 months after Ralph Baric meets with the CIA in 2015 to discuss adapting gain-of-function coronaviruses with bats, he meets up with the bat lady to publish a SARS-like cluster of circulating bat coronaviruses, shows potential for human emergence, funded through USAID's PREDICT program, funded through USAID, which gets back to this USAID CIA thing. In 2018, Baric and Shi, Ralph Baric and Shi, the bat lady in China, were listed as collaborators on the proposal to DARPA to insert a furin cleavage site into a coronavirus, which is the defining feature of COVID-19. DARPA is, again, the U.S. military. And then January 2020, right as the outbreak is happening, Baric was summoned to the ODNI, which would come to be run 1 year later by Avril Haines, who was the deputy head of the CIA when they first started working together, and who was a key player at the Event 201. But Ralph Baric was summoned by ODNI's Biological Sciences Experts Groups to brief officials from ODNI and CIA on origins of the coronavirus, discussing a possible accidental lab release at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the very place Ralph Baric was working with the Wuhan Institute of Virology's bat lady, including a proposal to insert a furin cleavage site into a coronavirus, which is the defining biological feature of COVID-19. And not only that, Ralph Baric even mentions in this exact set of receipts, he says to the CIA, you guys see this here? So this is September 2015. Barack Obama is still in office. Avril Haines is the deputy director of the CIA. The CIA, CIA.gov, writes to Ralph Baric. You get an email from CIA.gov as Ralph Baric saying, request for your expertise. This is in 2015 under Obama. The CIA writes to Ralph Baric, Ralph, I just wanted to reach out again to see if you would have a chance next week to discuss a possible project. And what does Ralph Baric reply to the CIA? and to the Director of National Intelligence. My apologies for not responding earlier. I was traveling through Montana, out of touch probably because he has electronics in his skiff. Unfortunately, I have to leave for Beijing on Saturday. So can we do next week? So he's going straight from Montana to Beijing. Where do you think he was in Montana? Well, you know the answer to this. Montana was the site. This was the Rocky Mountain Lab, the same lab that the military used. Again, military and CIA to create sublethal biological warfare agent viruses, which would appear to come from an animal. Tony Fauci run lab in Montana. That's the Rocky Mountain Lab. They say Tony Fauci run, but it's NIAID. It's military run. It's the military medical agency that Tony Fauci is in charge of.
Wow, that's probably good enough, Mac, I think, on there, but I had no idea I didn't even know there was a facility in Montana, if I'm being honest. I had no idea that there was Rocky Mountain Laboratory. Yeah, I have heard about that, but yeah, that I should have put it together with that. But Avril Haines, dude, from the beginning to the end and all the way back, going back to 2015 at least, they were planning this for a very long time. A very long time. And it sounds to me like some people need to get their
look how long Fauci's been, in the U.S. government. Didn't he started the... what was the program that kind of experimented on humans? Was it not? Do you remember Montauk? Was it Montauk Project? Montauk?
Ooh, I know Montauk. They were doing things, yeah. The Montauk Monster and stuff like that.
I can't remember. Elisa told me about it. I can't regurgitate it right now. But he was also behind, I think, the research with the HIV, which is sketchy, and how that was introduced to the world. It started in dentistry, the medical community, and never happened again. And that emerged from that, I think, masks and gloves. I think doctors used to not wear gloves. Obviously, there is a sanitary point to that. That's very good. But just from up until a certain point, all medicine was done without gloves. Keep that in mind. Yeah.
Sanitary much, huh? Interesting. Yeah, but these people absolutely need to they can't ride off into the sunset on this stuff. They need to be they need to be yes, Debbie, I know you got bad eyes. But yeah, they need to be held to account, and they cannot let this stuff ever go by the wayside. And I think that's what they are doing. They're making they're going to be making examples of these people, is my opinion. And it needs to be that way. And we need to ensure that they do not let these people walk out without some serious consequences for them. I think you had dropped this one, dude. Our man, Tim Burchett.
And remember, in the COVID jabs, there was HIV, and people did end up getting HIV after taking it, which is crazy. So HIV was part of this experimentation of, I guess, jabs and what it would do to the body.
Yep, it was almost the same process, the way they laid it out too, with the medicine as well. So it's Fauci needs to be there's a few of these people that are on my top 10 list, and that list is getting a little bit bigger and bigger for sure. This is an interesting comment. Cisco Lady Liberty wrote, hello, Patriots. Went to Gettysburg Memorial Day ceremony. Saw, I think, maybe Secretary Doug Burgum's hand today. Very cool. Saw his hand? Something in his hand? Shock? It says ceremony, shock. Secretary Doug Burgum's hand today. Very cool. Randall Crow says, my dad was a Marine DI during Vietnam. I begged him not to take the jab. He got CV. Took the shot while sick, died 6 days later. Some of the jokes tonight were his. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people. Oh, shook his hand. Thanks, Cisco. It says, shook Secretary Doug Bergman's hand today. That's awesome. And thank you very much to Redeemed, with another capital D at the end, for dropping a $50 Rumble rant. Says, all the Q posts are coming to fruition now. I watched it every day. Been watching you, Space Shop, for a long time. Thank you for all you do. Thank you very much for that there, Redeemed. And Yeah, it's interesting how many, how much the posts seem to be making more sense now than they did back then. And I always talk about the one that I got queued on, and the reason I do that is because it doesn't make any sense. Sorry, it had to be this way. It had to be this way. There was nothing in 2018-19 that was like, we were hurting. Like, sorry, we had to do this. It was always meant for after, is my opinion, for sure. But Mac, 8 different ones? Let's take a listen. I'm not sure this gentleman here. I've seen him before. Rep Tim Burchett, is he getting ahead of something again?
I've heard the definition of about 8 different species. I don't know till I see it. Till I shake hands or paws or whatever they got with them. I get sent a lot of material, and I get a lot of pictures and videos, and people want me to come out to the house and see something. I'm always afraid I'll end up in a freezer in North Carolina doing a family of cannibals will get me or something. But no, I'm very cautious about that. I've got a bookshelf full of books that people have sent me. You got to read this. It explains it, and what it is and what's going on. And I'm really cautious about all that.
Very interesting. 8 types of aliens. And my Saturday co-host, or Saturday and Thursday co-host, Hulkinator, had brought to my attention. Did you know he makes skateboards? That's something I had no idea.
Longboard skateboards. He gave one to Tulsi.
Isn't that crazy?
On the way out. Yeah. He does some videos where he's in his woodworking area doing stuff.
He said that they asked the parliamentarian, can I make these things and then sell to people? And he was like, no. He's like, but I could go do insider trading. And they were like, yes. Imagine that, dude. Burchett skateboard. I just pulled up Burchett skateboard, and it's interestingly pulling up a bunch of old 80s videos.
Well, back to the Q posts being true.
Sure.
We were all, I've been on that Storm Has Arrived post with 8, C plus, what was it? Help me out here. It's C plus.
C plus?
H plus C equals D. Remember in parentheses or D. So you got to put C in brackets.
C in brackets?
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, brackets, not parentheses. Is that a bracket? Yep, that's a bracket. 16 posts. Rogers, nothing can stop what is coming. C surveillance. C lockdowns, COVID lockdowns. ABC, no, wait, C1, no, just key C for careless. Coats before ABC. Coats before D class. Durham.
It's got the storm on it, the storm picture. There it is. This, yeah. So there's one where this whole thing's inside, and it goes through the process of the end, the process of the storm. I'd shown it before on the show.
Oh, it's definitely worth reading for sure.
But all these are back in the spotlight, in my opinion. And President Trump just posted a meme that said it was the calm before the storm. So that basically means the storm's begun, doesn't it? It was the calm before the storm, or is that present tense?
It was the calm before the storm. It was. Yeah. Well, what now tense? That means it's the storm then. So if it was the calm before the storm, now we're after the point where it was. So that's a past tense. I like this post too, dude. What happens when those who held positions of power and influence no longer pull the strings? What happens when blackmail no longer works? When you become a liability? H in parentheses is greater than C, comma, D, comma, I. C, D, I.
Comey. And then D's D-class, I's indictments. H was Hillary, is what the Q post said before. So then we're getting to this. So we're in D. So I think we hit Comey, release. Or we got released, and then he got indicted again. So
post D comes many I's, indictments. Yeah, you're right. Just because the public is unaware of something does not mean nothing is happening. Mueller hearing, a tactic meant to delay H or Hillary report. Hillary report release, or is that a House report release necessary prior to C Comey release? H plus C equals D. D class. D equals, I would say D class equals the start of mass awakening. White House, ABC, state, foreign, ... Post D class comes many I's, indictments. Post D class comes many indictments. Blackmail no longer holds due to loss of senior level key government positions and 11th hour testimony. Those previously protected become prey. Pepe. Hunters become the hunted. God wins. Boom. Yes, dude, I love this, and I think that's what we're dealing with right now.
311, and then the bottom of that.
311. Ding ding.
Wait, 3711. Excuse me.
711.
Dyslexia came in. Forgot the 7.
27. Corn harvest 5x5. Storm sequence of events. Horowitz IG report over to Comey report over to declass of FISA over to indictments. I think you're right. I think she's gonna start dropping it like it's hot, left and right out there.
I hope so. I hope we're not getting everybody's hopes up. But and then there's the hunter becomes a hunted. That's been President Trump's new trademark line. I'm the hunter now. So,
and there's too much. There's too much and too many things to not be something going on. In my opinion, there is just too much weirdness. And like I mentioned earlier, oh wait, we bombed Iran. We stole a president from Venezuela. We went back and attacked Iran again. Oh, by the way, in the middle of that, we had these operations where we got over to Nigeria, I think it was, and took out 3 of the most wanted terrorists in the world in the same 24-hour period. And then shortly thereafter, another guy from the cartel in Mexico turned himself in to the friggin' DEA, all within 24-hour period.
Now, other reason why I brought this up is if you look at the bottom of the chat, there's a picture as President Trump was getting on to his plane the other night. It was raining. I can't remember the day exactly. It was on May 22nd.
Oh.
So it looked very, very similar to the storm has arrived photograph.
Yes, it certainly
does. Very symbolic, and it made it onto a news article, I believe. I couldn't find it, though, at the time. Found it later, but...
Oh, good find, dude. Yeah, no, that's huge. I think that's crazy. And look how close the phone is. Let's see. Can't see the phone on the other one, though. Let me see. All right, you don't see the phone, how close it is, but damn, that is black umbrella, and even the little tassel sticking down there. A little tassel sticking down there. So that's actually in that picture. What was that post earlier? Ding, 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 ding. I don't see it in that one. But yeah, dude, there's too many weird things to sit there and say, like, nothing is happening. And again, just really quickly on the way out here, I'll pop this one up. Sinaloa Senator Enrique Unzunaza Cazares surrenders to U.S. federal officials in San Diego. That was May 17th. And on that very same time period, did I cover this last week with you? Because I think this was out there last week. This was the 16th, so we probably did cover it. It was 9 days ago. But yeah, it's just, last 24 hours, this guy, Mohammed Al-Sadi, and if that name sounds familiar, because that's the guy that they're saying is out there trying to kill Ivanka Trump, but he's been arrested since the 16th. Jose Enrique Martinez Flores by Chukwi, highest-ranking Trende Aragua dude, arrested. Abdu Bilal Al-Manuki, gone in Nigeria. So with all these things going on, like, I don't know, there's just way too many things going on to be business as usual. And I just refuse to believe that. I can't believe it.
Cash made some big announcements as well. The FBI has been making arrests. I think one person got arrested that was helping try to prosecute President Trump. Do you have that information?
Yes, let me direct.
There's just been a bunch of arrests and indictments been going on recently, and it has to do with fraud, corruption, counterterrorism. Been hard to track, but there.
Yeah, no, it's and 1.1 million fewer violent crimes under President Trump, the largest decrease in almost 90 years. So that's something he posted out the other day. Where's that other one? Results are undeniable.
Did you get the Trump post with the Hulkster misspelled?
No.
Oh boy.
A Hulkster, huh?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Surprised Hulk didn't see that one.
Why can I not find this?
Oh my, I mean, this is what I mean by disgusting people, dude. And see, when we say like these people we're doing stuff with kids, we're not talking about like, oh, maybe she's like 16, 17, but she looks like she's an adult. This sleazeball was going to meet a 7-year-old girl. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dude, bullets. They need bullets, my opinion on that one.
Bottom of the chat.
Okay. I love it, dude. We all missed the huckster and a guy that supported him, and he was very, friendly too. I don't think he would mix his name. And who's that guy? That looks like, who the heck is that guy? Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Oh. Almost looks like, what's his name in the 90s before he turned into a woman there? The Kardashian stepfather there, Bruce Jenner. But the huckster, and you found something else. Maybe Hulk?
So we look up L in brackets and a misspell, correct?
Absolutely. Dude, there you go. Boom, it's coming. I think that's a good one to end it on, bro, because that one right there is... And when did he post that, dude?
It was on March 23rd.
2 days. I didn't... Dude, he's posting so much that I'm missing so much. So I wish he would slow it down a little.
I think he does it on purpose to muddy the waters, too. You gotta...
That's awesome,
it's a lot to consume because there's a lot of stuff that there's confirmation posts where you're like, all right, there's something going on. I wonder what they're getting at here, and then sometimes you find out, sometimes you don't.
Hulk. I'm trying to look like what would he call himself? The Hulkster. So
Hulkster would be an L, but
6'7", 302 pounds, a big boy. Terry.
Terry's his real name.
Did you ever see that thing with the guy, the comedian, talking about it, how they started fighting in the back, and he said he was going to beat this guy up, and he's like, oh no, it was the woman. I think you brought that clip. It was Mr. T's daughter, the comedian.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And what happened? What happened this weekend? Not a damn thing. She's like, they started fighting, and he's going, hey, Terry. He goes, Terry, I guess that's what Hulk Hogan's name is. I learned that day.
And he's doing like a bunch of cocaine is what she said. I was like, oh, man.
We're going to kick his ass. He's over there doing cocaine. He's like, so when people ask me, I tell them my dad's Mr. T. He's like, I wouldn't pick him. Like, seriously? So when they ask you when they get back to school on Monday, what happened? She's like, not a damn thing. That was a good one, dude. That was a good one. All right.
I think you got some other stuff, or you got to close it out?
I got to close it out. I'm still mid-move. By next show, I will be up in my own. I don't know if you can hear the echo. I'm in a living room with no pictures on the walls or no nothing. So I still got to hang some pictures. I got one of 2 computer desks made. I got a computer desk chair made.
Oh, one thing we didn't mention is Trump is asking that Iran to be a part of the Abraham Accords.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Which is a great move. That is a peace power move right there.
Hey, you want to join the thing for us? That'd be cute, right?
Or do you want me to bomb the shit out of you? And then did you hear about his leaked phone call?
No.
He's like, I'll bomb the shit out of you.
Dude, he's the freaking man, dude. I'm telling you. And again, I think people need to understand that I don't think he's in the Oval Office every day like, okay, did that work with them? All right, let's try this. Like, all right, not Debbie, Susie Wiles, what are we going to do? All right, Lutnick, like, what are we going to do next? I think this stuff has been game planned well in advance. I understand that, plans need to be changed and they have defaults for things. All right, if this happens, then we got to do this. If this happens, we got to do this, whatever. But I think this stuff has been largely game planned to the nth degree. And again, I don't think President Trump's in there like the mastermind cooking up all this stuff. I think he's simply the ringmaster, but I also think he has input into it as well. But I think this was a very cleverly crafted plan by not only, I don't even think it was just the patriots from our country, dude. I think there was patriots, that's why I say world patriots. How's it going out there, my fellow world patriots? I think there was a worldwide alliance of patriots from their respective countries that didn't like how this was going. I could be wrong. I don't know, but
I think so.
What do you think? Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the chat too, and leave me a comment later.
You got to think about. We always talk about secret societies being bad. I think there would probably be a couple good ones out there. There's been some significant things throughout, I think, our society where they've panned in the right direction just enough, you know. However, I don't know how much of our history is a lie, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's another 10-hour video right there itself.
yeah. I've been, you had that show, and I think you guys were covering the Templars.
Oh,
I've been looking into that too, and that's why I brought it up. Dude. And Freemasonry, you know, you can only get so far, but through all this, you educate yourself on what it is, and you can see the inner workings moving and how you know, it's been an infiltration device as well. So, you know, it can work both ways. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I wonder if we'll ever, you know, get some actual truth out of that. The only thing that somewhat's been interesting in dealing with those secret societies is that the non-Freemason portion of the Templars was re-invited back into the Vatican, and they met with the Pope, I believe.
Oh, really?
So historically speaking, that's interesting. You know, now we know that the Catholic Church has some moments and some corruption going on, so still need to be answered. But I think there's also some correcting of wrongdoings possibly going on in the background with a lot of these institutions and countries that are not attacking President Trump as they usually would.
Yeah,
they're getting put in their place. Yeah,
I think so too. So two things. Matrix gave me a couple of good, one really good piece of advice for the leaderboard, and then he actually added something by a text like a couple hours after the show, which I think you'll find to be interesting. So he told me, so a lot of times what I was doing was setting up the show as soon as this show's done, I would set up the next show, which would be a day ahead of time. And he said, dude, wait till after midnight. I think that's why you're not getting on the leaderboard. So with our show, I waited till, you know, after midnight. So it was today when I set our show. So hopefully we'll get on the leaderboard. But he was getting on the leaderboard, as you see here. He was number 10 at the time. And I wasn't getting on the leaderboard for the last couple of weeks because I was setting them so early. He said, wait till after midnight. So I did that, and I got to 7 yesterday. So that was cool. So thanks for the heads up on that one, brother. But then he also added in for the Templar stuff. So if any of you haven't seen Matrix's Templar stuff, he did a very good little breakdown on it yesterday on the show on Sunday. Towards the end, it would be maybe the last half hour, 40 minutes or so. You guys could take a look at that. That's kind of in a nutshell. But he says, so after the show, I had a thought, something I hadn't done yet. Templar's first Grand Lodge was June 24th, 1717, as you learned today. 1717 is the year I checked Knights Templar in Gematria. It totals 1771. And so basically, he was talking about earlier how you have numbers that go backwards and forwards, right? And so 1771 is obviously 17 and then 17 backwards again, right back to it. So might be onto something there, dude. You never know. Who is helping POTUS, you know? I was thinking, was it God in the beginning? Were they talking about the military? Were they talking about God? Like, why is POTUS always 5 steps ahead, right? Who is helping POTUS?
Do you want to know who's been paying and donating to Massey and MTG?
Oh, yeah. Pop that at the bottom quick. I will definitely. Oh, wait. No, wait. I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. Yeah, I remember the guy. And the reason I remember I got it is because I wrote in the show notes that the guy's name happens to also end with a Q.
Oh, I had a whole freaking graphic on the
where is it? Here we go.
E-class thing here.
Oh, wait. This is going to bring us back into Telegram anyway. Open Telegram. Here we go. So this is what Mac's talking about here. Maruk Mohammed. Sam Maruk, whatever. Okay, $7,000 to Thomas Massey. Tallarico for Texas. Zson for Texas. Thomas Massey. Tallarico, and I think MGT was also on this list as well. But Mohammed Maruk doesn't sound like a very American name to me. And again, people are being paid off left and right. Is that half a post? If it's $3,500, is he getting paid for half of a Twitter post? Because that's what I heard. They were $7,000. Dude, that's so much money, dude, for a post. Imagine that shit. $7,000. You know what I would do if I was getting paid $7,000 a post? I would be streaming more. That's all. I'd be home and streaming more. But let me go over to Pilled and say thank you to some folks on the way out.
Hey, pull up the graphic while you're saying that.
Oh wait,
right at the bottom.
Was it the one I just had up? Did you miss it?
No, it's the decode that I forgot to.
Okay.
Sure, everyone, you just put it up on the chat.
Ding.
And I got to the declassify, and you'll see here, but I couldn't. This is before Tulsi got, parted ways. But I knew we were on this right track somewhere. So this is how I kind of figures things out sometimes. I can't do them all the time, and I got a new computer and gave me a new graphics thing. So
nice. Well, I mean, looks like you did this on the 20th.
Yeah. Well, my new computer was a while back, so I don't have the old program. I got to look it up to see if I can find it to get a little bit bolder boxes and lines.
Yeah, I'm bad about labeling images too, so I have to visibly look at them. But yeah, I mean, it's clear they were telling us it's coming. But dude, I think nothing tells us more, I don't think, than the picture you showed at the end there with the Hulk, the Hulkinator, and the missing L there.
Yeah, but you can go to your thank yous and stuff. I just wanted to post that.
No, that's great. No, it's definitely great because, to your point though, we're this is before we left to Tulsi, and I think that's an indicator that it's about to get, really, really cooking in here. So my hope is that this guy that's backing her up is going to be doing like a Blanche 2.0. So that would be super cool. I cannot wait to see. And I think we're going to start seeing it in short order if I'm being frank. I'll be Mike, but I'll be frank. Let me see. Let's see. OH58 Captain. Why did they put it in two different colors? That's weird. So on Rumble, OH58 Captain, appreciate it, brother. And I wouldn't even say happy, but Memorial Day to you, sir. I know you have some lost friends, I'm sure. Really been busy. June will be epic, folks. Thank you, Mike. OH58 Captain dropped a $20 Rumble rant and then followed up with another $5 Rumble rant. OH58 Captain again says it was down to the lowest to upper levels. Those informed, some not so informed. In fact, SS76, you were part of the plan unwittingly. An unwitting pawn. Well, hopefully if I'm being used for good, then that's fine. But I do appreciate that, brother, and good to see you back in the catching a show live. Believe me, I know, busy. And I got my steps down for the next 2 years over here, guys, so I'm good. And Mac, I don't know if I think I may have told you before the show, but I did another weigh-in and I'm down another 4 pounds. So 222 nice. is the lucky number now. I showed folks, a kaleidoscope image of, let me just do this really quick. A kaleidoscope image of all the weigh-ins that I've done over at the in-laws, and essentially, so here's one, ding, and then where's the other one? Ding. And this is in all part to, the feel-good protocol that I've been taking.
Are you sharing your screen right now?
Not just yet. I'm trying to get where did they put it? Images, pictures for shows. There we go. So here was the previous. I gotta maybe make a new one. So here we go. Here's the stacked images of the weigh-ins. This is what I'm showing you. I'm basically stacked these images here on the right. So, dude, can you believe I was 253.5 pounds at my son's physical? And I was like, yeah, dude, that's bad. So 253.5, yeah, down to 226.5, and then that was like last week.
Divorce will do it to you.
Yeah, tell you about it, right? And no sugar. And so this one is today, actually, right before the cookout. Boom. So add that one to these ones here, 240 now, or 253 to 222. And it's like 30 pounds, 31 pounds. So again, a lot of it is that feel good, and I also went straight up no sugar on drinks. So, dude, it's to the point where I don't know if you've done any stretches of not drinking anything with sugar in it, and then gone to sugar. It literally tastes like the equivalent of eating bad food. Like when you put it in your mouth, you're like, oh wait, that's bad. Like
yeah,
when
it's strong.
Yeah, dude, it was like a rancid taste, like a gross taste. So yeah, it's definitely good. Over here on the Foxhole.
What were you drinking?
Oh, dude, I was at least bare minimum, like probably 60 to 64 ounces of sweet tea.
What did you drink recently that made you cringe?
Same thing. So Arizona raspberry sweet tea. I used to love that.
Yep. Nope. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I used to love that. Arizona regular, southern sweet tea or raspberry sweet tea, or even the peach was the best because it was like the sweetest.
Snapple. I can do a little Snapple, but I can't do too much of it.
But dude, even with that, so what I've been drinking in replacement of it, and I know it's a different type of sugar, it's a different type of sweetener, but it's Powerade Zero, and the only two that I really like is Powerade Zero Grape, and Fruit Punch. Because they actually one of them tastes like Kool-Aid and the other one just tastes like a grape drink that's really good. So, I mean, a lot of it is not drinking, 64 or more ounces of 34 gram, per serving sugar drinks. That's very helpful. But the feel-good thing, it also, I'm not hungry all day either with it. So, yeah, that's a mini commercial, which I didn't have planned, but there it is. Willie Break It on Pill Drop the Can says, I miss Lisa on the show and RDoc on TOT. Please share what's up with them both. Why are they not available? Well, we've talked about Lisa has been doing a big project that she recently finished and is paying off for her big time, something she's been working towards for about 5 years, so she's taking a little bit of a break. RDoc is the best I could tell you with him. He's just fed up with the administration. So, he's choosing to not come on the show. Nobody's told Lisa or RDoc they're not allowed to be on the show. They are more than welcome to be. Nobody's stopping them from being them other than themselves. So just don't think it's me and Mac or Hulk and Tron keeping people off of lives. The door is open if they would like to, but like I said, Lisa's got her thing that she's doing, and I'm super happy for her because she seems so happy that, a lot of work went into what she had to do.
Lisa's doing good.
Yeah, very good. So it's a plus for her. So, so that was that. But thank you there, Willie Break It. I appreciate the can. And then Darius dropped the cookie, says, is this philanthropy? I guess, yeah. Yeah, sure. But thank you for the philanthropy, sir. Darla L dropped the can, says, Space Shot, thank you for taking the time to keep us all informed. Been a fan a long time. I appreciate your perseverance and dedication to keeping us all informed. Much love on this day of reflection. Rest in peace, valiant warriors. Thank you for that, and I reiterate that. Yes, absolutely. And then Sean Joe, Space Squad member, went 1 cookie, 2 cookies, 3 cookies, 4 cookies. Thank you for the 4 cookies in a row there, Sean Joe, my man. And then One Thunder with the can. No message on any of these last ones, but thank you there, One Thunder. And then Just Josie with the cookie. No message on there, but thank you. And then Darla L dropped the can, says, what do you think about, I heard about this. I'm going to leave this to the last one here. Sean Joe, thank you again, brother. Space Squad member, dropped another cookie at the end there. And the last one, this is funny. Darla L, so this is going to be a question for us both, Mac. Gifted the can, says, what do you think about SGT reports bashing Trump and X22 and We Know channels? He calls them paid operatives. Boy, it's sad. It's bad, dude, because I've been on SGT's show a couple times. And the funny thing is, He's black pills apparently with the Maju Israel stuff. But dude, the funny thing is, last time I was on X22 SGT report show, he's like, "Oh, I got the show up. Here you go." He sends me the link. I click on it. It's like, "Oh, Red Pill 78 joins SGT report." I'm like, "Wait, you know I'm not Red Pill, right?" He's like, "What? Oh my God, I'm so sorry." So I have, to be honest with you guys, I haven't listened to any of Dave X22 in quite a long time. Let's get into the geopolitical blah 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 news.
Either by.
Yeah, and same with the SGT report, because
all that's news to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
so
I had a feeling they were funded in some way. I just don't know from where. That's all I know. And then I stopped paying attention to them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I highly doubt, and we know is being, paid or propped up by anything other than, any monetary compensation he's making by his channel and the products that he's selling, like T-shirts and stuff like that, like, and the cruises and things like that. But
who's that?
And we know the LT guy.
I don't know him.
Well, I remember from long time ago. Those of you may remember, there was a dude named Serial Brain too, and he had a lot of cool decodes, and he would put his post on Reddit. And there is a Serial Brain 2 on X right now, but that's not the real one. I think we went over that before. He's an imposter. But Serial Brain 2 had a bunch of really good decodes, and I forgot the order in which it happened. But at one point, I started reading the Serial Brain posts as a video, and then I think War Drummer, that dude War Drummer, started to do it, which was kind of laughable, and then And We Know started doing it. And so I said, you know what, And We Know's doing a good job of that. I'll focus on the Q stuff. I'll just let him rock and roll with that. And I kind of stopped doing that. So, he was grassroots as far as I saw. He didn't just come on the scene with 200,000-300,000 followers. He's been making videos for years. Only thing I can say about X22 is he was already well established, had 400,000 or 500,000 followers by the time I started even mentioning or seeing him online. So I don't know. I don't know about him, but I know, seems like he's very pro-Israel is all I'll say about that. Seems that way, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't paid attention to them in years, or him.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I hate listening. I try not to listen to people's videos, especially like my friends. Any of my friends that are making videos, I try not to watch their videos. I might pop in and give them a thumbs up and then leave. But for me, dude, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe it's just, integrity, I don't know. But I feel like if I got my show set up for Hold the Line tonight and we're all set up, we got Max links, my links, ready to go, and then I go over and watch Red Pill for 10 minutes and I go, oh, wait, I didn't have that link. And then I take that link and bring it into my show. I almost feel like I'm stealing. So for that reason, I don't even do it. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody other than myself, but that's kind of my method, and I've stuck to that for years. Because I don't feel like stealing or, being told I'm being stolen. Because that used to be a thing too, dude. So,
really?
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, dude, they've done so many different tactics over the years to try to split the movement. It's hilarious at this point. Yeah, it's beyond bananas.
Yeah, I used to I don't even want to get into it, but yeah, I've noticed. I learned the hard way, in so many respects. So.
True. Any parting words for the folks out there, my man?
Oh, great show. We definitely didn't get to everything. The Texas sky. Did you see the Texas sky?
No.
That was pretty incredible. I posted.
Is there a fire?
Yeah. No, it was an anomaly of some sort.
See if I can pull it up while you're saying your things here.
Right here.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Big
It
rainbow.
happened in the UK. It happened in like the UK. Doesn't look like a rainbow though, almost.
Dude, I saw, and I wish I had it on my channel still, like way long time ago. I recorded something very similar to this, and I was like, what the hell is it? And everything in the video was like, there was no blue whatsoever. It was totally gone. You know what it is? That's Planet X, bro.
This happened very similarly in the UK during COVID. And I believe there's a couple different angles, and one of the angles they saw an object kind of fly off, but This is just a very unique sky anomaly. It's totally strange.
Dude, that looks a little low. If that's in Texas, that looks like the Northern Lights.
It's a lot of it's a lot of electromagnetic particles in the air, ions probably.
How is this possible, Grok? Stunning sky is rainbow caused by sunlight refracting and reflecting, dispersing through millions of rain droplets left in the storms. Glowing pink, orange, purple hues from the low evening sun. Yeah, because so everybody understands.
I guess it was after a storm.
Yeah, the red, why you see red more is red is the most difficult color to refract or to spread out. So that's why it stays more solid than anything. It's the most difficult color to spread out or refract or whatever you want to say. So, but yeah, dude, great show, dude, as usual. I will be back, I believe, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern with Ghost and the crew. Mac, you got anything else you want to add, brother?
Yeah, thanks to everybody that watched. Hunter admitted that the laptop was real on a Candace interview. Scavino posted a video with an alien reflecting off of the seal. Did you see that?
Yes, it's
that was
some
interesting.
Some form of disclosure is coming.
Yeah, we're getting there. I don't know if it's aliens. Like I said, the technology part's really interesting. But that's all I got. You all have a great week. Till next week. And thanks, Space Shot. Talk to you all soon.
Yes, sir. And also, I don't even want to play it, but Dan Scavino keeps reposting, the None Shall Sleep, Nessun Dorma. So just keep that in mind. A lot of interesting things happening out there over the years. And Matrix Codebreaker, thank you guys. Thank you for rating the stream, brother. We were just talking about your addition to the 1771 decode yesterday. Very interesting. Original Clagster, what's up, brother? Dropped a $17 Rumble. You guys are hitting me on the way out of here, but I do appreciate it. Original Clag dropped, he was a fireman from California, retired. As always, he says, guy emoji, fire truck emoji, clap emoji. Yeah, they're rating us.
For the Templar, look into Saint Michael, Archangel.
Michael. That's
me. And the
Templars,
and the Templars connection. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, that'll lead over probably to America and form of Freemasonry and the Templarism. Templars were always hiding in the background, I believe, with that, but it's interesting. Anyway, thanks guys for rating it.
Yeah, thank that, brother. Yeah, we went back, what was it? I don't know, 25 minutes ago. Where did I do it? I'm trying to just give him the thing there. Maybe about 20 minutes ago. I think he touched on that one there, but I appreciate it, brother. And so continuing reading, Original Clag says, as always, a guy emoji, a fire truck emoji, a prayer emoji, and a flashlight emoji. Says, honor, courage, devotion to duty, never forget. I appreciate you, brother. And the last but certainly not least, Durango Nibiru X had gifted out 5 subscriptions to the channel. I do greatly appreciate that, guys. And I do greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out with us on all of these shows. I'll be back with Ghost and the crew, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow evening. Thank you very much to the mods, the gals and guy out there. We do appreciate your help greatly. And until that next video, let me start that over again. We do appreciate each and every one of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in out there. And until that next video, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace.
Hello, guys. Something special is happening in here. That's right. It's brackets and jackets. Bringing it back for brackets and jackets. Special Epstein Island edition. That's right, folks. Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the man with the island, which is suspiciously close to Haiti. That's right. You see, this man, Jeffrey Epstein, is funding lots of people. He's funding lots of people on the street to make sure his shit doesn't get out. That's right. They want the record sealed. And they're paying a lot of people. Epstein's paying a lot of people. Oh, boy. For one, he's got a whole Mossad media matrix in America. And I would bet you anything that Alex Jones is one of them. Prove me wrong. That's right, Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the portal. Cappy's in the building with songs about Epstein. It's Breakfast Jackets Epstein edition. Guys, I had some epiphanies today. I had some real big epiphanies about some guys. A big network of guys and spies and lies and liars. All right, think about this for a minute, okay? The guy in Portland, the scientist that just got busted for producing CP, that guy is 1 degree of separation away from Epstein. Epstein, the investor that lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. I know a guy who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida as well. Investor as well. Also involved as well. And all is not well with these guys. The Florida boys, the Glow boys, the Scott Israels of the world. You see, Epstein is Hillary Clinton. And Epstein is Haiti. And Epstein is a big network of media assets. By the way, did you know that Steve Bannon was going to that guy for money? Also, Epstein is Epstein Oprah. Epstein is Chris Tucker. You remember him. Epstein is also Kevin Spacey. Epstein is also Prince Andrew. Epstein is also... Who else is Epstein? Who else is Epstein? Tell me. You guys know? Who else is Epstein? Is Epstein Big Pharma? Is Epstein Bryan Singer? Is Epstein Naomi Campbell? Yep, all of the above. All of the above. Who is Epstein? Epstein is the keystone of a whole motherfucking matrix. And once you pull it out, it all falls down. Dersh was there too. That's right, we're dropping red pills every day. Dropping red pills in the best kind of way. This is brackets and jackets for the denizens of Ireland.